designed our weekly video segment to take you into the back shelves of your local video store, back where it says horror videos, and where kids are devouring some awful films that we call the video nasties.
Are you freebasing? Inquiring minds want to know.
I have to break free from this culture of mechanical reproductions and the thick incrustations dying on the surface.
Fuck the prime time, bitch!
Monmouth in the flesh.
The pain, I can assure you, will be exquisite. As for our deaths, come with me and be immortal.
We have such sights to show you.
Gotta return some videotapes.
Hello, horror hounds, and welcome to the It Slays podcast. I'm your humble host, Rowan.
I'm an absolute pistol, Mike.
It's your cleft palate cow, Jill.
And we have a very, very special guest. We got to give you an introduction that's worthy of this one. This one's for, I feel like, the OGs that I see a lot of people on the internet that are just missing every horror movie on Netflix. And, you know, like, it's just a truly missed podcast on the podcast space.
Period.
Yeah, so we had to give people a little taste, a little bit of what they've been missing, what they want. And what they want is a piece of Mr. Steve, and he's in the building.
Hello, friends. Thank you so much for having me. It's good to be back in front of a mic again.
Yeah, I was going to say this could be good, maybe reignite something, or this may be the only time anyone hears you again.
This could just be a reminder of why I left the game in the first place.
Okay, I was like, this is going to be some kind of reawakening, but probably not. More like a re-quitting.
It's all up to you guys. We'll find out.
Okay, fair. We'll see how the night goes, honestly.
And we are Coltonless this evening. That's all right. We got four of us, and you know he's resting up. That hard boy's working on them TV shows, so he needs a little resty poo. He'll be back though. And you'll hear from him later this week. We have a Now Slaying dropping, so that'll be coming. So let's get right into it, guys. We know where we're starting with. What have we been consuming? What have we been watching? What have we been reading? What have we been listening to? All that stuff. What good media you've been consuming these days? And you're the special guest, Steve, and we always start with the special guest.
You know, I'm sorry I'm a bad fan. I haven't been keeping up with you guys as much lately, but I'm guessing you've probably talked about Hokum on the show in some form or another.
Episode about Hokum Out, but we want to hear your thoughts.
No, I'm gonna listen to that. Really curious to hear your thoughts, but I fucking loved it. Yeah, I think it's like damn near close to a perfect movie. It talk about reigniting passion like that. That reminded me why I love horror movies and why I love to go to the theater and hear everyone scream and squirm along with me. What did y'all think?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love a good slow burn horror too, and as someone who is largely Irish, I love anything Irish horror. I had some wild thoughts about where it was going, and it did not go there. But I love any movie that prompts me to start like immediately having wild theories about it. Even if it lets me down by not going there, the fact that there's something in that movie to make me go, I'll bet this crazy, bizarre thing is happening, to me is like perfection. It's just feeding my brain. It's feeding my like twisted thoughts.
That's interesting because I texted you about it and told you how much I loved it, and you said, "Oh, I have thoughts. We'll talk about it." And I was like, "Oh God!" Like, do you have a bad take on Hokum?
Oh no, it wasn't bad thoughts. Okay. And then I was like, "We're not going to talk about it until the episode." Yeah, I thought that it was all in his head, and that he was like,
"Oh, Jacob's Ladder scenario."
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank God it wasn't that.
I mean,
for me anyway.
Been mad if it was. I was happy with where it landed, but I also like kind of was like, I wouldn't mind this.
I really liked it. I said it had been a long time, and I mean, I'm seeing stuff every other week for Now Slaying, so like we're seeing every new horror movie that comes in the theater, and it's been a long time since I thought it was pretty scary. I was like, it kind of got under my skin. I remember Colton was like a little cool on it. I think he liked Oddity better than he liked Hokum, which I know there's like hardcore
That's
Oddity
such a Colton
heads.
take. I mean, come on.
There's Oddity heads out there, and I get it. Oddity is also a very good movie, but this, I vibed with it. I thought it was fantastic.
Jill, I forget, did you see it?
No, but I just watched Oddity like not too long ago, actually, on Shudder.
Yeah.
And I really liked it. But yeah, I haven't been to the movies in a hot minute, so yeah, skip over me.
I just have one more. I haven't been doing a lot horror-wise. There's just too much going on in my life and in the world. But I did watch Whistle. On Shudder. Yes. I loved it. It feels like a movie that my former podcast co-host Chris would have written, because he loves like over-the-top like teen scream type movies. This is a movie where there's an ancient Aztec whistle that just shows up apropos of nothing, and if you blow it, and the tagline is "Don't blow it," which is really funny to me. Your death becomes more imminent than it had previously been. It opens with an extreme close-up shot of a high school basketball coach blowing a whistle, and I was like, all right, we've already got motifs, we got themes. I had a blast with it. It's absurd, and it dovetails nicely with today's pick, because it does wind up in a carnival funhouse. That's sort of the big set.
I was thinking about it when I was watching Funhouse today. Actually, me and Rowan did a Now Slaying episode on Whistle. I really liked it. I don't know if Rowan liked it as much as me.
I think I gave it an okay. I think I really liked the idea. Some of the stuff, the story was a little nonsensical to me, and I had a bad theater experience with it, so it kind of ruined it for me. But I thought, I was like, my kid's gonna love this in like another year or two.
She's almost at that age, just like on the cusp.
Well, that's all for me. What have y'all been watching, reading, consuming, etc.?
Yeah, now you get to listen to everyone else go on for like 40 minutes each. So
I know the deal. I know what I signed up for.
Listen, Jill has not been here for eons, so I think she should let loose.
All right, okay.
Let loose like those bull testicles in those milk farm books that you read.
What the fuck?
Listen, I'm upset because I let someone borrow that book and then they like moved to South Carolina and I'm never getting that book back again. So that's what I get.
They're tossing their cookies to it anyway, so you don't want it back.
Yeah, it's probably sticky at this point, and you know, I'll cut my losses there. Yeah, I've read like 4 books since the last time I've been here. So the one that I just finished today was 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl by Mona Awad. She also wrote Bunny, which I was a big fan of. I really like her writing. She also wrote Rouge, which is another book that really reminded me of this one, actually, with like kind of the mother-daughter relationships. But it's basically like 13 vignettes about this woman. It's kind of autobiographical about her like issues with body image and weight, and I thought it was really good, and it was a good palate cleanser for me because I've been reading a lot of horror, and so I just needed something different, like some different literature, some fiction, so that did the job. And then before this, I read 2 Rachel Harrison books. I've been on a really big Rachel Harrison kick. Me and my friends have a book club, and we read Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison. It basically is about, I'm not going to say what type of cult it is because it will spoil the whole book, but it's really interesting observing the like trauma from being in a cult and relationships and like leaving your family and coming back and being the black sheep and all of that. And it was really good. And the other book that I read by her was called Such Sharp Teeth. It's a werewolf novel. It really reminded me of Ginger Snaps, actually. I'm actually wondering if she was inspired by Ginger Snaps for this, because it does take on a metaphor for the werewolf transformation with pregnancy and some other things. So I thought that was interesting. There's 2 sisters that are really close. So there's that like sisterly bond that's heavy in Ginger Snaps. It was really good too. I haven't like really read many werewolf novels, especially ones that are so heavy on body horror like this one was. It was very Ginger Snaps. It was disgusting. It was so good. So if you're looking for something like that, I recommend that. I recommend any of her books, honestly. This is like the 4th book I've read by her. I've talked about the others on the podcast, and she's fantastic. And the last book that I read is The Har. I forget the name of the author. It's a novella set in Scotland, and basically this big American corporation is coming over and trying to take over the island and kick all the people who live there off of it so they can build whatever they're building. And this old woman who refuses to leave, they start trying to bully her and get her to leave her house. She finds this gooey thing on the beach, and things happen. It's a good little cosmic horror. It's probably one of my favorite books that I've read this year, so highly recommend that one.
Despite you not remembering the author's name.
It's a man, that's why I don't remember. Hold on.
Oh, okay. That's totally understandable.
I think it's like David. Let me see. Let me fix that.
David's such a man's name.
David Sodergren. There you go.
Okay.
I also read that like a long time ago, so I don't remember.
That's fair. You haven't been here in like 6 months.
Exactly. I'm busy. Busy doing nothing. And then for movies, we did Cape Fear, the one from the 90s, I think 1991.
Classic.
Oh, the Scorsese. Yeah.
Scorsese.
Yes.
Juliette Lewis.
Robert De Niro just like hanging under the car. That's so funny to me.
Dude,
just
that
so classic.
Set me. Him in the robe, like dressing as the housekeeper. that fucking set me. He's actually attractive in this movie too, which I never thought I'd say about Robert De Niro, but something about him being a psycho, I don't know, does it for me.
You have a type, I guess.
Just me? Okay.
Oh, called out.
All right. Fuck me now.
Gagged you a little bit.
A little bit. So we did that over on Straight Jacket Talks. If you want to hear more of my thoughts, that episode is up on YouTube. They're remaking it again. It's coming
the cast
out
is
soon,
really good.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was about at all, and then I watched this and I was like, "This is fucking fire!" Actually, so
didn't Juliette Lewis
there's
win
also
an
a
Oscar for
50s
that?
one?
She should have. There is, yeah. It's based off of like an older one.
I think it's a Robert Mitchum movie.
Yes, yeah. Which is also based on a novel.
Damn.
Do with that what you will.
Many iterations. And then we finally recorded some more episodes of Stream Screams. So they'll be out eventually. Masters of Horror. So we did Chocolate and Homecoming. We had a lot of fun recording those, Rowan and Trevor and I. So
yeah, the first one should be out in like 2 weeks.
Okay,
and
hopefully.
The next one will be out in a couple weeks after that. They'll be out soon.
If you're a patron, you can listen to that. And then 3 more movies. I rewatched Queen of the Damned because I just bought it on Blu-ray, and I had to make Anthony watch it because he's never seen it before, and I was like, "This is a test."
But he has heard your soundtrack before, right?
Yeah, but
okay.
he had never.
So he
seen
knew
the
all the
movie.
music. Nice.
Yeah. But he passed the test. So that's good. He liked it a lot. His only gripe was that there wasn't enough Akasha, which I agree.
Yes,
because
100%.
Aaliyah slayed that shit, right?
It's literally called Queen of the Damned, not Queenie Skinny Guy of the Damned.
Lestat of the Damned.
Lestat of the Damned. Although it to be fair, they did mash together 2 books, including the Vampire Lestat. So, but it should have been like more
2
Aaliyah,
big
more
books
Akasha.
too. Like
yeah,
it's crazy. I think I liked it even more since the last time I watched it. I think I gave it a yay when we reviewed it like 3 years ago. I'm gonna bump it up to 4.5 stars because it fucking bangs. Like, I'm sorry to say it.
It does bang.
It bangs. I don't care.
Remember when I texted you because I was so excited? I was at the thrift store and I found a still sealed DVD of Queen of the Damned, and it was like those ones with the cardboard case with the little
clapper case. No.
Yeah.
You
So I was
bought
like,
it, right?
this is sealed. Yeah, well, I bought it. I was
Okay,
like, this is sealed. I'm never opening it up. I already own the disc on DVD and like a binder. So I was like, this is perfect. I got one to keep.
Yeah.
Just in case something happens and it suddenly becomes a valuable movie.
It is a valuable movie. The reason I bought it actually is because it was my friend's birthday and it was on her wish list. So I was like, one for you, one for me.
Oh my God. That's
rewatch
so
it.
funny.
Okay. And the other movies I watched Day of the Dead for the first time in its entirety, because every time We put it on. I get distracted. So I really liked it.
It's
another banger. Yeah. And then that movie night, we followed it up with Land of the Dead. Also my first time seeing that. And I thought it was
not
pretty
as
decent.
much of a banger.
Not as much of a banger, but like I respect it for what it is. And even a not so good Romero movie, I feel like, is still a good movie.
Is that the one with Dennis Hopper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was kind of rough.
John Leguizamo's in it also, I think.
Asia Argento.
Yes.
Got a good cast, yeah.
Ooh, okay. And I'm going to follow that up with, I wasn't here last time because I went to Pittsburgh and I did a lot of fun sightseeing. So I went to the Evans City Cemetery, so the cemetery where Night of the Living Dead was filmed, and that was really
you're like, look,
cool.
this is the headstone that Johnny's head gets bashed on.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, good. That's the cursed headstone.
And funny thing about that headstone that Johnny smashes his head on, it's like weathered in that corner. So I'm wondering if he like actually got knocked out, like because it looks.
Or if
rough.
weirdo horror fans come
Yes.
and like keep banging their head on it.
Probably the latter. I feel.
Yeah.
It was cool. Just like driving around in that area, all these places and sites where Romero filmed were all in the same area. Like we took a wrong turn and ended up looking at the post office. That's like in the original Crazies. So I got a little picture of that. And then we went to that cemetery, and then I saw some other sites from Night of the Living Dead. And then we followed that up with a trip to the Monroeville Mall. So that's the Dawn of the Dead Mall. And that was sick. It looks really sad now. Like it's lost all of its character. There's no more like palm trees or fountains or pond. It's all white and just like sterile. And I fear it's not going to last much longer. I mean, malls in general are in a sad state right now, but that one just got bought by Walmart. And yeah, I'm scared that it's going to get torn down. But they have a bust of George Romero in the mall, and that's cool. I went to go visit that. And upstairs, they have a museum, the Living Dead Museum. So I went there. I was talking to the guy who works there, and he's also not sure what's going to happen to the mall. So that's really scary. But went to the museum. It was really cool. They had a bunch of like props and artifacts from Night of the Living Dead. They had stuff from Evil Dead 2, which was crazy. Like the actual work shed and like windows and doors and stuff.
Wild. Yeah.
And obviously they had stuff from Dawn of the Dead and Land of the Dead. So they had like the outfits there on display. And yeah, I thought that was really cool. And I also bought a piece of the mall. So we got a brick, have a little piece of the mall.
They're literally selling the mall off brick by brick. Wow.
They really are. Because when you go outside, you can see where they took off all these bricks and it's just like crumbling.
Oh man, Jill, you're really like in denial about how little of a lifespan that mall has left. Like
Dude,
you're literally taking it home with you.
It's not fucking good, man. Oh, and I also saw the Creepshow house. I drove by that.
Oh, nice.
It's right by the mall, but the people who own it were sitting outside and I didn't want to bother them. Apparently they're really cool. I could have gotten a picture, but yeah.
Like the Jordy Verrill house?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, and of course I've got Creepshow right up behind
poster
me, too.
behind you, yeah.
Yeah. It
That's
didn't
amazing.
look like it because it looks very different now. So we drove by it and I was like, is this the house? Like, it doesn't look like the house. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. Rowan.
Me.
What have you been up to, my guy?
Well, I guess I'll start off by saying I guess it'll be 2 weeks once you hear this episode, but I attended the newest Terror Vision showing, which was Friday the 13th, part 3. And they got a wonderful new 4K copy of it that they showed, and it was converted into updated 3D and real 3D, and it was fantastic. I was very curious how it was going to sell, just because anyone that listened to 2 episodes ago would know they were promoting a different movie, and then the rights fell through to show it, so they were like scrambling to bring something, so they had Friday the 13th Part 3 kind of up their sleeve.
Which is a pretty good replacement for pretty good replacement.
Anything. But I was curious at how, quick, it was only about 2 weeks of promotion, and it was pretty much almost sold out, which I was very surprised by. There was like some superstar father that brought like his 8-year-old kid, and it was like their first time at TerraVision, and they actually won the big prize pack that we gave away from It Slays, which was cute that he won it. It was a giant horror movie coloring book with like a pack of markers and stuff, and then of course some other people we gave away some full collections or the 8 movie Blu-ray collections of Friday the 13th. So a bunch of people won that, but it was a great time.
It should have been me that won that, but anyway.
My eyes might be going, because I will say it was cool not to have to wear the red and blue paper 3D glasses, but I did find it was like hurting my eyes every once in a while. Like I was getting sharp headaches. So I don't know I don't know if it's I'm old and my eyesight's going, or if there's just something in the conversion where that 3D like wasn't really made for like new 3D technology, and it just kind of, was harsh, but it was a good time. The 3D was awesome.
I used to find that like when we would go see 3D movies back when that was like a big fad, like with My Bloody Valentine remake and stuff, I found that would happen to me. I'd get headaches at those. So it could just be...
I've never had it happen except for this, and I was kind of upset.
You're just old.
Yeah, I must just be getting old, and I was upset because it looked really cool. Like, it's probably pathetic, but I think the best thing in the whole movie is the intro, like, name credits and title card.
Yeah.
Because it just looks awesome, and all the words have, like, trailing lines coming from it. It just looked amazing.
I love that 8-year-old got to, like, see their first eyeball flying out of someone's head at the screen.
Always, yeah. It's fantastic. Like Jill said, watch Chocolate and Homecoming from Masters of Horror. There'll be streams on that. Once this comes out, we'll already have me and Colton talked about Obsession. So I guess I'm not really spoiling my thoughts on it, because you've already gone and listened to that episode. But I gave it a very enthusiastic slay. I may have said some big things that I might get in trouble for. I might not. I think this was a stronger debut feature than Jordan Peele's Get Out. I thought it was a stronger debut than Barbarian. And I thought this movie alone put him over both of those guys in their entire filmographies. It's that good. I think it's incredibly amazing how good it is. It wears its influences on its sleeve. It's just interesting seeing young creators that are influenced by like Hereditary and Get Out and The Invisible Man, the remake, and like bringing those to the films coming out now. And it's fantastic. I saw it twice in less than 24 hours, and I'm already trying to figure out when I can go see it again. That's how much fun I had. I was absolutely terrified. I told Steven, Hokum terrified me. This terrified me way more than Hokum. We're so back. Horror movies, we're so back. And Blumhouse so back with this one. It's so good I forgot it was a Blumhouse movie.
Damn.
Not the Blumhouse shade.
I mean, I'm always riding for them. They always disappoint, but I always ride for them. But like when you see this, I'm always like, oh, did Neon pick this up, or is this A24? And like, no, it's Blumhouse. So they fell into this and they lucked out on that one. Now it's time to talk about real cinema. And by real cinema, I mean some awesome Tubi watches I did. So I had to get my Jason Statham on just a little bit. I always got to get my little Statham on as I slowly try to watch every Jason Statham movie possible of all time. And I watched some real clunkers. I got to check out War, which is a film he did in the 2000s with Jet Li, and it was absolutely horrid. Jet Li basically like not doing anything, just kind of talking and barely doing any action stuff. Jason Statham coincidentally doing most of like the martial arts work in this, but it just, it's really disjointed. It wasn't fantastic.
Can I ask, is this when Jason Statham still had hair?
So
he's trying to hold on to his hair.
This was like he's starting to lose it, but it is there. It's
okay.
There is still some hair there. Then I followed up with 2010's 13, which I didn't know a lot about, but I was very intrigued by the cast, which was Jason Statham, Mickey Rourke, Alexander Skarsgård, Michael Shannon, 50 Cent. Like, the cast would tell you might be pretty good. It was really, really bad. Like, almost unwatchable. It was kind of interesting. It's based on a Russian movie. The same director made an independent Russian movie that was, like, lauded as this art house piece. A company gave him a bunch of money to make it into an American version, and it was horrid. And it's basically about an underground betting ring that they hold an illegal game of Russian roulette. And
do they just call it roulette?
I mean, I don't know what. It's just really bizarre. The best performance is Michael Shannon, because he's just like turn up to 15, and it's Michael Shannon, so it's just always good.
He's always gonna bring it.
Yeah, so it wasn't good. And then speaking of not good, I also got a chance finally to check out Mercy, which is the new Chris Pratt versus AI.
Oh, that's not the Mercy I thought it was. Okay.
No, this is the Amazon produced one about AI courts. It's basically a chamber piece. It's just Chris Pratt sitting in a chair.
That makes it sound so elegant.
Yeah. It's Chris Pratt sitting in a chair talking to AI for an hour and 20 minutes, trying to solve a crime, because it's a dystopian near future world where AI decides if you're guilty or not just by going over the evidence. There's no courts, there's no anything, and he's the creator of the AI. And I had like a little bit of hope. It's directed by the same guy that did like Wanted. He did like that Profile movie. Like, he's done a couple movies that were like all right, like good kind of action flicks. But this is bad. Rebecca Ferguson plays the AI. And this was like, I don't know, she must have needed a new house or something. I'm not sure.
Listen, everybody got bills to pay, man.
This was Rebecca Ferguson having the film for like maybe 2 days. They just record all her AI responses, and that's it.
She did that literally in her bedroom closet. She's like,
over the phone.
Yeah. It wasn't good. Like, it wasn't like abhorrent like, you know, the Jason Statham movies I watched, but it's like, you know, if I had paid and saw it in the theater, I would have been pretty upset. I followed that up. I saw Edgar Wright's newest one, which is the Running Man remake, because I had missed it in the theater with Glenn Powell. And of course, I am a massive Schwarzenegger Running Man fan. I think that movie is fantastic, cheesy in all the best ways, and I was like kind of excited for this. I knew like William H. Macy and Michael Cera were in it, and it was kind of wild, and it just kind of left me flat. It's an Edgar Wright movie with no Edgar Wright personality to it. It's very long. It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something.
What the fuck?
And it's just boring action set pieces that kind of play out the same. And it shouldn't really be any large surprise that, you know, the person that really steals the show is Coleman Domingo, who plays the Running Man game show host, and he's fantastic in this, but he can't save it. I mean, it's yet another one. It was fine to put on in the middle of the night on Amazon, but if I had paid for it, I probably would have been a little bit upset. Then one that I just rewatched, I've already talked about it before. I rewatched Foe, which is that Paul Mescal sci-fi based off the book. I watched it with Exilia because she had just finished reading the book and she wanted to see the movie. I think it's got, you know, like a 1.5 average rating on Letterboxd. I gave it like a 5. I absolutely adore that movie. If you like Paul Mescal just banging his wife naked for most of the movie, sweating, and it's like a low.
Do I ever?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just a lo-fi sci-fi flick that I really enjoy. If you're into kind of like mumblecore, it's got that kind of like vibes to it. And the last two things I'm going to talk about, one, another We're So Back. I got to check out The Punisher, One Last Kill.
Wait, is that a series or a movie?
So that is a one-shot special. It's about 50 minutes. Of course, this is Berthnall's kind of like triumphant return.
Okay. He's back. Good.
He wrote this, so I was interested to see what it was going to be like with him writing it. And Ronaldo Marcus Green directed it, who is the guy that I guess he probably most famously be known for directing the Bob Marley biopic, and he did the King Richard movie as well that Will Smith won the Oscar for. But I know him more for directing the miniseries We Own This Night. He directed it. The guy that wrote The Wire had wrote it. It was a miniseries on HBO based on a true story about corrupt Baltimore crime unit that John Berthnall also starred in. And this is fantastic. Marvel, we're so back. We're so back. I'm totally back on board with this. Berthnall just...
I'll be back when they bring back Jessica Jones in her own series.
Yeah, she was fantastic in the new Daredevil. I'm glad to have her back, and we have Luke Cage back, too. But, I mean, John Berthnall just, like, he's the perfect Punisher. He embodies it. I like this is very kind of artistically violent, a little more... John Wickish, I think, than normal. And then the last thing I saw, which I thought was kind of a funny story, is it was late at night. I always like you know me, I like commercials when I watch stuff. I like that old school feel. So I always indulge in like the Roku kind of live channel movie channels. Oh my God. And I managed to watch The Cable Guy in full, like I'm watching it on TV, so I got to watch commercials and...
Like it was on cable.
Like it's on cable. And it's fantastic. I love The Cable Guy. I think, sadly it was a misunderstood movie when it came out, I think. And it's kind of a great Jim Carrey performance. It's always way darker than I remember it being, and it kind of terrifying, and I just love that movie. It's wild. But yeah, that's all I've been up to. Mike, round it off for us.
My God. I just have to say, like, apropos of your second last thing, what is it with people who play the Punisher becoming, like, obsessed with it?
It's
like,
true.
I just feel like everybody who ever played the Punisher, they're like, I'm so passionate about this character. I'm going to, like, write it and direct it, and I want to play the Punisher for the rest of my career. What's with that?
I'm interested to see. It's only been out for, like, less than a week. I am interested to see how you guys in America deal with it, kind of. I kept telling the conservative guy that I work with at my work, I was like, this is not for the woke Republicans, because it's Punisher going around killing white people wearing red hats that say USA on them, that are that are terrorizing an immigrant community that he lives in. And it's just him snapping and being like, enough's enough. I'm just going to brutally murder everybody with a red hat on.
We love to see it.
I mean, John Berthnall's kind of on record as, not liking Trump whatsoever. So I just thought it was cool for him to utilize this comic book symbol that is often misrepresented.
I was going to say, Americans famously completely misunderstand the Punisher.
Yeah.
Throw a dart and you will land on a Punisher logo.
Yeah.
On a truck.
Republican's truck.
On a souped-up truck.
Yep.
Blue Lives Matter
with
truck
those balls on the back, too.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
It's a Republican, logo.
Yeah.
No, this sounds righteous. I need to see it.
Yes, and it's one of those things that, you probably don't really need to see anything else to watch it. It kind of explains the Punisher is down and out and has disappeared, and he's, he needs something to make him come back. So it's a classic, comic book story. So yeah, highly suggest. Anyway, Mike, yes, bless us. What have you?
Oh yeah, I totally actually forgot that. I was supposed to be getting into my shit. Okay, so first of all, I have to start off with something that I didn't see in theaters, and I'm actually, because we got it here for a week, I know several people that went to see it here, And I know people like from online, like friends in America and stuff that saw it. Some of them really didn't like it. And one person in particular told me, this movie's so cunty, it's really campy and bad, but you're going to love it. And I was like, yeah, maybe. And then I didn't go see it, and I kind of forgot about it. And then last week, somebody posted a clip from it online, and I was like, oh my God, I need to watch this. And I fucking loved it. And it was that movie Forbidden Fruits.
Oh, yeah.
About the girls that work at the mall and the clothes store, starring Lily Reinhart.
Diablo Cody.
We wanted to
Diablo
do
Cody,
it
yeah.
for Now Slain, but they didn't play it anywhere in Canada. So
It's hard to find.
No, we got
I
it for
haven't
like
even
a week.
heard of this.
Okay, so it's about 4 girls that work in a like high-end clothing store in the mall, and they're like witches.
What?
And it's very
Okay.
like feminist and like woke, you know, but it's kind of like skewering that a little bit too.
I'm waiting for it to start streaming, like so bad. I'm frothing at the mouth.
I found it online, so
Oh, really? Send me a
Yeah.
link.
I'll send you a link. Yeah,
This is my plans tonight.
don't you worry. Wink, wink. I got you. I'll send everyone. I'll drop it in the chat. But yeah,
Please.
I had such a good time with it, as you would expect from something that Diablo Cody is involved with. It's full of just like insane, snappy dialogue and characters like verbally shredding each other. And Lily Reinhart spends the whole movie in this crazy, cunty, beautiful, like ginger wig. That's very obviously a wig, but like it's also like a really good wig, so you don't even like get bothered by it. I was just mesmerized by it the whole movie. I'm like, this is not going on my bad wig list on Letterboxd. It's going, I'm gonna have to make a good wig list, and this is gonna be the inaugural entry. I thought it was just super fun. It was extremely campy. It's a little bit slow starting, and it's kind of like more of a teen girl comedy for a while, but once it like gets going, it like really gets going. I'm like, oh, okay, this is why it's a horror movie. Gotcha. Yeah, I would totally recommend that if you're into like kind of cunty, campy teen comedy horror, a la everything Diablo Cody did. I think it's going to end up being like Jennifer's Body, and like years from now, people will be like, oh my God, yes, this amazing movie, you know?
Just like
But
Lisa
maybe not. I don't know.
Frankenstein, you know.
Lisa Frankenstein. Yeah, it's very much in that vein. I'm shocked that you didn't like you'd give it 5 stars.
I couldn't find
Jill.
it. Like,
Yeah.
it was hard to find. I know Willow went to go see it there, and she really liked
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the one who told me that you should have gone to see it. And I was like, okay, cool. Now that it's gone.
Yeah.
It looks like you can rent it for $10 in the US.
Oh, nice.
But Mike has a link, so why would you
I have a
bother
link,
with that?
so it's fine. You can rent it if you want.
You can pay the creators, or do your own thing.
Yeah, or there was no way for me to get it in Canada, so I did what I had to do.
We'll buy it on physical when it comes out.
Listen, y'all look at my fucking massive physical media collection. I don't feel bad, okay? When this comes out on 4K, I will be buying it.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of things that need to come out on 4K, last weekend, one of my dearest, oldest friends, we don't get to hang out very often, but when we do, we always watch like banger movies. So we finally got to get together, and we had a night of drinking wine and watching horror movies. So we started the night out. Well, we had one movie in mind, and then we were just going to like wing it for the other movie. So we started out, and I was like, okay, let's go through my, server and just kind of find something random. And we landed on The Changeling from 1980.
Nice.
Which, is like it's like a cult classic, but I feel like it is sort of underrated. Like, I just feel like people don't talk about it that much anymore, which is weird.
Ever since I think Severin put out a Blu-ray of it, it's like much more in the conversation now, as it should be. I love it.
Yeah, oh, of course. And it's such a great and I mean, it really fits in with the current fascination with, kind of like slow burn, intelligent, moody, atmospheric horror movies. And
it's the original A24 movie.
It really is, yeah. I was like saying that the whole time we were watching it. I was like, I forgot, because I'd seen it once when I was like a kid on VHS, and I really remembered barely anything about it except that the house was cool and that the ball fell down the stairs. Because it scared the shit out of me. But yeah, it's like a really great movie that I think everybody should definitely check out. I would call it sort of a gothic haunted house ghost story but that's also not doing it justice because there's a little bit of a mystery involved too, and it kind of turns into something different in the last scene. But I will say there's this really great scene that I will never forget involving, like, they kind of have a seance with psychics and there's like an automatic writing, and I fucking love that scene so much. I was like, this is cinema right here. This automatic writing. Just like hauling the paper off and going crazy. I'm a sucker for seance scenes. I can't help it. Ouija boards, automatic writing, like fucking crystal balls even.
I think that seance in Hereditary is like maybe one of the scariest things I've ever seen in my life. Because it seems so plausible the way that it's portrayed. Yeah.
And I mean the cast of that was like insane. I have like very like all over the place feelings on that movie, but that seance scene is like the shit. I think it's perfection. So 1980, like, it is available now on like a collector's disc, so check it out. I'm sure it's available to rent too. That's totally what I did. And so the other day I finally got, okay, so problematic fave alert, content warning. I'm going to talk about a movie that a lot of people do not like. So I've been like literally for probably 2 or 3 years, however long it's been out, waiting to get my hands on the Arrow edition of one of my favorite movies of all time, but it's an import and really expensive. And they had a sale, so I was like, finally, I can get it. So I nabbed it. And it is fucking Dressed to Kill, Brian De Palma.
Yes.
Perfection. Like, okay.
Not at all transphobic. I mean...
Not at all. I was like, okay, is it transphobic? Yes. Is it also a masterpiece?
Hell
yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And, I was saying, like, the transphobia at least, and this is, like, not to excuse it, but I hadn't watched it in a few years, and I was, like, kind of remembering it as being even worse than it was, but I was like, it's just stupidity and ignorance. Like, it's not, like, malicious. I don't think he was trying to, like, do harm, even though he did. But, anyway, whatever. I just wanted to be like, warning. I will admit that this is problematic, but I also love it and gave it 5 stars. The Arrow 4K of it, like, actually blew my mind. It looked insane. Oh, a dream. I've owned it on every format possible. Like, I had it on VHS and DVD and Blu-ray and blah, blah, blah. And this just blows them all out of the water. And the new 4K, the reason I wanted this, because there's actually 2. There's, like, the North American one is a little bit more bare bones, but the Arrow edition has 2 features that I need. And there are 2 commentaries. One is by one of my favorite film scholars, Maitland McDonough, who wrote the book on Dario Argento, Broken Mirrors, Broken Minds. And the other one is by the host of one of my favorite podcasts, Bloodhouse. So I actually need to rewatch it this week and listen to those commentaries. Wow, I'm going to watch that movie 3 times in like 2 weeks. I'm like, content warning, but also I'm going to watch this like 18 times.
So transphobic are you that you just have to watch
I know.
it 3
I'm
times,
like, listen, I gave them my money. I at least have to like milk it like one of Jill's fucking Minotaur books.
You're welcome.
Oh, God. Just the gift that keeps on giving.
It needs to get back to me.
And I followed that up the next day with, I wanted something kind of chill and cozy. So this is a movie that I've had on my list like pretty much my entire life because I remember seeing it in the video store and somehow never rented it. And it's from 1987 and it's this little, I'll call it like a cozy horror movie called Dead of Winter. And it stars Mary Steenburgen, who is Mother. And it's directed by Arthur Penn, which is kind of crazy because like his filmography is wild. Like he's done like some absolutely legendary films, Bonnie and Clyde, Night Moves, like Miracle Worker, this.
Oh my God, I can't believe I've never heard of this. Night Moves is like top 10 films of all time for me, so adding it to the list.
Yeah, it's really fun. So what it is, it's actually very similar to another movie that we did, I want to say last year, and that I adore. It's very similar to Curtains, but it's more of like a thriller as opposed to a slasher movie. And it's about this actress who goes out to audition for a role with the director of the movie in a like remote cabin in the winter and gets snowed in there. And then she realizes that there is something really nefarious and weird going on, and she's got to try to kind of figure it out. And then, it's like the B plot is her, I don't know if it's her husband. No, I think it's like her boyfriend is trying to get a hold of her, and, he's essentially trying to make his way to the cabin where she is, and she's kind of like being put more and more in danger as it goes along. And there's like all these plots and stuff. It's really fun. It is definitely more of like a cozy thriller for most of it. And then in the last act, it really does sort of kick into more of a horror film. But yeah, it's super fun. It's kind of got the vibe of a TV movie. And I'm not saying that in like a derogatory way, but
this sounds cozy as hell. I think I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted like a cozy movie to just sort of like lie on the couch, and I was hungover because we had been, drinking a lot of wine and stuff. So I was just like, I wanted something to kind of like wrap up in my quilt and like drink coffee and vibe to, and it was perfect. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's like a 3-star. It wasn't like the greatest thing I've ever seen, but I'd totally watch it again. And Mary Steenburgen is actually, like, phenomenal in it. I knew I was going to love her, but, like, she plays, like, 3 roles in it, and insane. I love that woman so much. There's a reason I call her Mother Steenburgen. What else have I seen? Let's see. Okay, everything else I've watched since then has not been very horror related, so I'll just kind of skim over it. I did a rewatch. I've been really in the mood. I was talking to one of my friends online, and the conversation got around to Antonio Banderas being like really hot in his Twinkie Almodovar years. So then I was like just in the mood where I was like, I want to like go on an Almodovar kick. So I'm starting it off by rewatching a classic of his like kind of 2000s era, and it's Bad Education.
Yeah.
Phenomenal, of course. Yeah, like Gail Garcia Bernal playing like sort of multiple roles. It's this really crazy movie about like a story within a movie, within a book, within a movie,
within a story.
Yeah, it sounds convoluted, but it's actually really simple, and there's like multiple actors playing essentially the same role, and it's just sort of like a movie that's sort of comedic, but is also unpacking a lot of like trauma. So I won't say too much more about it, but if you know Almodovar, it's very much in his wheelhouse of like his 2000s period. It's really beautiful. The acting is great. It's really whimsical and funny and really devastating at the same time. And another one that I watched, which I need to talk about this one because it was the shock of like the week. So I went to the thrift store and I ended up grabbing a couple of like old gay classics from the 90s on VHS. One of them I loved and was like a lore movie for me. And the other one I had seen in video stores and it looked awful. It had the worst cover art I think I've ever seen, ever. Like, it's just like top 10 awful like movie poster art of all
Gotta
time.
see
like
it.
It's just, but I bought it because I was like, oh, I need this. Like, I want to fill in the gay classics on VHS. So I nabbed it. I brought it home. The next day I was like, you know what? I want to watch one of those movies. I'm going to watch the one that I haven't seen before. So it's called Kiss Me Guido.
Shut up.
What?
I'm not kidding.
That's a hate
1997. Crime. Yeah. So it's called Kiss Me Guido. It also has the worst cover art you've ever seen. Right? I was like, oh my God. I was just right in the mood for like a bad movie. And I was like, this is going to scratch that itch so hard. So, I like get my popcorn ready and I put it on, put the tape in. It's got all these like awful Paramount commercials in front of it, a trailer for In and Out, which had just come out on video, on home video. And I was like, oh, this is not good. They're putting In and Out at the beginning of this and like priming you with like,
did you feel profiled in that moment?
Yeah. The movie starts, the first like 4 or 5 minutes of it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I needed. This is like just bad Guido, like Jersey Shore got nothing on this. And within like 20 minutes, it turned into this like really good movie. It turns into like, one of these mismatched buddy movies. Essentially what it is like this, Guido catches his girlfriend fucking his brother. And so he's like, I'm moving out. And the only place he can find is with this like, kind of queenie gay guy. And it's like, ooh, can they get along? And then it's, just about like all of his family being, he doesn't want to tell them who he's living with because, they're very, he thinks they're going to be very homophobic. And then the gay guy's friends are like very much, theater and film and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, can they get along? And, he's an actor and this guy works in movies. And it's actually, ended up being like very heartwarming and charming, and the acting was great. Jennifer Esposito was in it for a few minutes. For any Mad Men fans, Brian Batt makes an appearance. One of my favorite characters in the first couple seasons, and then they fucking wrote him out in the worst way possible. But I'm not gonna because I'll start losing my mind. But yeah, it had a banger soundtrack. It was all like 90s like house and dance music, and it impressed me so much that I immediately went, okay, I need to get this on like DVD or Blu-ray or whatever it is. DVD been out of print for 20 years. No Blu-ray, not on streaming. You can't buy it on like iTunes or anything. It's not on the Pirate Bay or any of the sites that I went on. I went on Amazon and eBay and shit, and the DVDs are like $80 to like $170. I was like, holy shit.
What the hell?
So now I fell in love with this movie, and I want to get a better quality, like not VHS tape version, and I can't find it anywhere. So if anybody has any leads, let me know.
I'll check.
Because it was super charming.
In the Jersey
Shore.
Shore.
Yeah, if you're ever like at the thrift store, yeah. If you're going to find it anywhere, it'll probably be there.
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye out. This sounds fascinating. It's also rocking a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Listen. I get it, but I like literally I was primed for the worst movie ever, and I found it really charming. So I mean, I don't know if I'd recommend it to other people, but
it's something.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, the poster is very like. Listen,
no, I trust
totally
you. I'm just making fun. I want to see this.
It was obviously pretty low budget. Most of the budget went to like a handful of the actors and the soundtrack.
And the fake tan.
And that's it. And the fake tan. And we had a movie night 2 nights ago, actually, our usual to be bad movie night. And we decided after a bunch of shenanigans and probably like 4 cocktails each, finally landed on, we're going to do a cult classic that we've been wanting to rewatch for years. And so we put on fucking Mommy Dearest. And let me tell you, that holds up. 5 stars. You know, some movies that are like cult classics and like considered like the height of camp and like bad movies that are so bad that they're good, they don't ever live up to their reputation. I haven't watched this in probably at least 10 years. It's literally still perfect. I think it's the most perfect bad movie that ever existed. Faye Dunaway is incredible. The costumes are incredible. The sets are incredible. The makeup and wigs are incredible. It's supposed to be Christina's story, and it's totally just about Joan Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so quotable. It's so perfect. Mommy Dearest, get it in your eyeballs. I don't care. Everybody needs to watch it.
Got it.
And that's pretty much it. I'm just saying, like, I don't need to go on about Mommy Dearest. Everybody knows what it is. So that's pretty much it for me, other than listening to a lot of 80s music. Still.
Well, with that, let's, get into the main event. It was a Mike pick. So, Mike, why don't you introduce it and let us know why you chose this film?
Okay, so it's obviously The Funhouse, 1981, Tobe Hooper. I've been wanting to pick this for a while. I really enjoy it. And obviously we have a guest, and me and Steven have been talking for probably years at this point about how, we should do it at some point. And it just, for whatever reason, we just always ended up, you were supposed to be on when we did our last Tobe Hooper movie, and, like, stuff happens, and we have technical difficulties.
There's a curse. I don't know why we can just say it. There's a curse.
Yes, it's 100% a curse. But we broke the curse because we finally managed to nail it down, and we're here, and we're doing the Funhouse. And, yeah, so I picked it because I thought everybody would enjoy it, and we got to have a fun guest on, and it's the Funhouse, so why not?
So with that, let's kick it on over to the trailer, and we'll be back with the synopsis and first experiences.
Tonight, in the Funhouse, something waits for Amy. Something deadly. Something evil. Something that tonight will turn the Funhouse into a carnival of terror. The Funhouse from Universal Pictures, rated R.
1981's The Funhouse is directed by Tobe Hooper and written by Lawrence J. Block, and the synopsis is as follows. Rebellious teen Amy defies her parents by going to a trashy carnival that is pulled into town. In tow are her boyfriend Buzz and their friends Liz and Richie. Thinking it would be fun to spend the night in the campy Funhouse horror ride, the teens witness a murder by a deformed worker wearing a mask. Locked in, Amy and her friends must evade the murderous carnival workers and escape before it leaves town to the next stop. So, first experiences, is this our first time seeing the Funhouse? Are we hoop heads? Are we lovers of the carnival lifestyle? And, want to research everything there is to know about our future prospects operating Tilt-A-Whirls, zippers, and the Gravitron. Mike, it was your pick. You already said you've seen it, so is there anything else you wanted to add before we go to someone else?
Yes, I just want to take a brief moment to acknowledge the lineage of me watching this movie. So when I was a kid, I don't know if the channel A&E still exists. Probably not.
I don't know if it does. I feel like something happened to it, but it was around forever.
Yeah, I mean, in the 2000s, it kind of became the Dog the Bounty Hunter channel.
Oh my god, yes.
Even though it was arts and entertainment, they were really leaning heavily on the entertainment aspect of that because there was no art. But they used to show movies all the time, like a couple times a day. And I would literally, when I was a kid, I would set my alarm for 5:30 in the morning because they'd always play like something horror-y at 5:30 for some reason.
They're so cute.
Yeah. I would literally get up and I'd watch a horror movie at 5:30 in the morning, and then everybody in my family would get up and I was already up watching, fucking slasher movies or whatever. But one that they played a couple of times was this movie, which I feel like has fallen into obscurity, even though Scream Factory put it out like maybe 10 years ago. And it was called Terror in the Aisles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like a clip movie. And
that's with a P, just to be clear here, because your pronunciation.
I was also wondering what was going on there. Thank you.
Clip.
I heard clit.
It was clips. It played clips. Let me get my ASMR mic. Clip. Yes, thank you for clarifying that, because I'm turning into Roe now. I'm making up words to clarify.
Okay,
clarify that it was a clip movie. No. So yeah, it was one of those clip movies which, they definitely do not make anymore because what's the audience of it? But there was maybe 20 or 21 movies in it that they would just play full scenes from, but around themes. And it was Mother Nancy Allen and Father Donald Pleasance giving narration about and this is about women being in danger, or this is about whatever, and then they just show full scenes from Psycho or full scenes from Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, and blah blah blah. And that's how I saw a lot of movie scenes for the first time. And one of them was they played 3 or 4 full scenes from the Funhouse, and I had no idea what it was, and I was like, what is that? So I researched and found out that it was the Funhouse. And then I rented it at the video store, and I fucking loved it. And that's the beginning of the end, because I've watched it a million times since then. Steven, you're the one wearing the Funhouse shirt, which
I got the Funhouse
nobody can
shirt.
see.
I've got the Funhouse novelization by Dean Koontz.
As do I. Again, it's not a visual, but I also have a different edition of the Funhouse novel that's not as nice.
Wow.
I've got my Tobe Hooper Hoop Dreams zine behind me.
Love it.
I'm a freak. So, my late childhood best friend really got me into horror movies, and he was a big Tobe Hooper fan. And this was a movie that we never got to watch together somehow, but the cover art with the murderous clown really kind of captured me. I've always loved carnivals, used to go to a lot of regional kind of scary carnivals as a kid, and so it loomed large for me. And then finally when Scream Factory put out a Blu-ray, and I was getting back into horror after my film school days when I didn't take horror as seriously as I should have for a while, I immediately sought it out and just fell in love. I mean, the atmosphere of it is very reminiscent of things I remember from my childhood, my friends and I in high school, we used to break into abandoned buildings and things and haunted attractions. So like it's conceivable that we would have spent the night in a funhouse if we'd had the opportunity. Yeah, I don't know. This movie just has the goods for me. Like it's just such a colorful visual delight. I love Tobe Hooper. It's in a fascinating period in his career, post Chainsaw, pre Poltergeist. I throw it on like once every 3 months at least. I just adore living in the milieu of this thing.
What about you, Jill?
Damn, it's hard to follow all of that because I actually didn't even know about Funhouse. Like, I didn't know it existed until I searched it up to watch it for this episode. And I feel like it's been a very Tobe Hooper year for me, with like the Ed Gein show on Netflix that came out. And then I watched Poltergeist this year, and over on Stream Screams, we did Dance of the Dead, which was directed by Tobe Hooper. So I feel like he keeps popping up. Yeah. So I didn't know about this, which is crazy. And I don't know. I love his work. So I was happy to see where this went. I love the concept of a fun house or a carnival. I think that's a great setting for a horror movie. I think that's really fun. So I was really excited to watch this one. But yeah, it's my first time. What about you, Rowan?
Yeah, so I think this is one of the earlier Scream Factory Blu-rays I ever owned, like years ago, and I've never watched it. I've literally never. It sat on my shelf.
That's so on brand.
I mean, yes.
Biggie Hall's over here, just collecting and not watching.
Some people may say to me, do you ever watch all of your thousands of movies? And I try to say yes, but there is some I miss or I haven't put on yet. And this is one of them. And it's kind of funny Mike picked it because it's been on my radar because I recently had like reorganized all the shelves. And so I'd got
an excuse to just touch everything you own. And,
I like to do that every couple weeks, really. But
just Scrooge McDuck diving into
essentially that's what I do.
Fucking movie this.
But I was specifically reorganizing my Scream Factory stuff, and I had looked at it, and I'm like, this is one I gotta watch. I feel like it's kind of, you have to say you're a Texas Chainsaw Massacre fanatic, like, praise TCM 100%. So it's just one that's always kind of been on my radar, but I've never actually sat down and put it in. I'm always the most excited on this podcast when I get to watch a Blu-ray that I've bought 8 years ago or more and never played. So then I can open it and put it in, and that's a fantastic feeling. So I say, why don't we buckle in and get ready to enter the Funhouse and talk about this baby, which I had my first opening note. I do want to say I absolutely love the intro, like music and credits and kind of just the small block pictures of Funhouse kind of animatronics and the silliness but creepiness of it, because obviously carnivals are just creepy in general, and I don't know how people associate it with fun. Let's be realistic here.
Yeah, that was like also pretty much my first note too. I was like, these opening credits are so banger. I always forget how good they are. It's just simple and effective, and it really just like breaks down and isolates all the creepy parts of the Funhouse without the surrounding like joviality and like chaos.
It kind of like almost tells the whole story of the movie too. Like, if you're really paying attention. I love that. I miss artful opening credit sequences.
Oh, I miss artful anything in movies.
Fair.
Not to drag every, modern movie, because I'm being hyperbolic, but, they don't make them like a Tobe Hooper 1981 joint anymore, that's for sure. And by the way, the 4K disc of this that came out a couple of years ago looks phenomenal. I watched it for this rewatch. I've been meaning to buy it for the last 2 years anyway, and it's just like, oh my god, it looks like a dream. So if anybody is on the fence about buying it, the opening credits alone will sell you because they look just like a fucking dream.
I'm watching it right now on the other side of the screen, and it's fucking incredible. I think I'm a big Blu-ray nerd. Like I read reviews of discs before I buy them to make sure that like it's not going to be like overly color corrected or whatever.
Blue-ray.com is like your Bible.
Blu-ray.com, like one of the critics said this is one of the best examples of why 4K discs are like the new way, like you need to adopt.
Yeah.
The one thing that really took me aback, especially like just starting the disc in the first thing, was just how different I think it looked going in, because obviously when I go in, the first thing I'm thinking about, like I said, is Texas Chainsaw Massacre and kind of the guerrilla filming style and stuff, and just how kind of clean and cinematic this looks. So I looked it up. I saw like Andrew Laszlo was the cinematographer. And then I'm like, oh yeah, this kind of makes sense. Like, he's the guy that shot Rambo First Blood. He's the guy that did The Warriors. Like, this isn't a guy.
Yeah, I think he had done The Warriors right before this.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not necessarily a guy that's, you know, like some like big horror cinematographer guy. It's like, this guy's kind of doing, you know, like budget movies. He did end up doing Poltergeist 2, in fact, after, obviously. But, yeah, I was just super impressed of how open it is, how even though a lot of this we spend time like in this kind of one ride, in the many layers of this ride, that he's able to fully shoot the carnival and still give it a kind of dizzying, claustrophobic feel. All at the same time, where it looks so big, but they're very good at confusing you and like where stuff is, especially when we're getting a layout of the full carnival. Like it makes sure to confuse you, and I think that's just such like a neat trick to create confusion.
Yeah, because they kind of like make it labyrinthine, because you're supposed to be kind of like walking around and confused and scared because you don't know what's around the corner.
Well, and like one of my favorite touches that I honestly didn't even really think of until I watched this with a commentary, I think from Hooper years ago. Like the Funhouse itself is confusing because this is a traveling carnival, and yet somehow this thing has a basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With all
What is that?
gears and all this machinery going around. It's like, it's impossible, but we're so deep in the nightmare at that point that we just buy it. I think that's so cool.
Oh, that's so true.
I was thinking
it's
that
like,
too. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like impossible architecture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like bigger on the inside than on the outside.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's like a traveling carnival. It should be all tents and stuff. So why do we have this building with all this like elaborate machinery? It's kind of like a factory, and the fact that they like live underneath the ride and everything, it just doesn't make sense. But I was so into it because I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool that they're like living underneath the ride.
It's badass. Unless you actually have to live underneath the ride.
Yeah. Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, it's probably not that bad.
or get a hand job underneath the ride.
Yeah.
You know, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I just think it's very interesting too, because, you know, obviously this is like very on theme, on point for like what Hooper likes to investigate, kind of, you know, like the grimy parts of like Americana, and obviously the inspection of family from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and this is being a different form of family. But I just think he does such a good job of not only making the carnival itself terrifying, but the workers of it terrifying. But then we're also given shots where they're like very humanized, like where we get to see them just cleaning up people's garbage at the end of the day, and like, you know, they're kind of like down and depressed, and it's like, yeah, I feel that way at my job, you know, all the time too. And but also, you know, just understanding like kind of how rough that kind of life, that family life is. Like, you know, you work for a carnival that's moving every couple days, and how that really wears on the people. I mean, he did a good job kind of making everyone look pretty worn out, and the wear looking rough for the wear.
And you know how at the end of the day, they just want to fuck the fortune teller. They just want to get the rocks off, man. It's been a long day.
Like, or the tent girls, $15.
Oh, the tent girls. First of all, there was supposed to be 6, and there was not 6. There was only 3.
Oh, they had to get them in there somehow. So it's not as impressive when you're like, wow, we got 3. So I thought maybe they had 3 and then they probably just like rotated outfits and tried to convince them it was like 3 new ones.
They're
or
like,
something.
okay, now you put on the yellow pasties.
Well, what kind of carnival? Like, I've never been to a carnival that has had a pee-pee, like a strip kind of.
You're going the wrong carnivals, apparently.
No, but for real, does that exist? Do you guys know? Like, I've never heard of that before.
I've been to some sketchy carnivals in my time, especially in like up north in Michigan, as we call it. It's possible that they exist in that they're kept like from children's awareness.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I've never seen anything quite like it. But I know that like back in the, Depression era, that I'm sure that was a thing.
Yeah.
Like look at like Nightmare Alley, which is a huge influence on this. Like that early kind of carny culture, which is fascinating, which I'd love to learn even more about than I already do. Like there was definitely a clit show element to reference Terror in the Aisle.
Oh, there we go. Bringing it full circle. Nice. The clit show.
That's kind of what I thought that they were kind of hinting at was like kind of carnivals of older days that I'm sure there was
like freaks and stuff.
Yeah, like it was definitely more aimed at like adults and more repression, some more perversion. So that kind of made sense to me. Now, I did want to go right to the beginning because I thought it was an interesting thing to start this film off kind of automatically like giving your nods to like classic horror movies and like kind of winking at the audience like, okay, you're kind of in the hands of someone that knows what they're doing. I know all the references. I'd say this opening is obviously a nod to Psycho and Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think works very well because not seeing it before, I was like, okay, this makes sense. Like, I was thinking Halloween, right? I'm like, so we're going to have some, like, initial kill, and this person's going to end up, like, working for a carnival or something. So I did kind of like the playful fake out of this just being, like, siblings getting after each other. Although, I'm not going to lie, the little brother here.
Skeevy.
A little pervert?
Yeah.
A little perv going on here. A little voyeurism.
Yeah.
He might end up being a murderous carnival worker.
Maybe.
Well, I texted Mike earlier. There's a detail in this that I'd forgotten about that was like totally chilling to me, which is that he takes a Polaroid of her after he like scares the shit out of her, and we linger on that, and it's like last known photograph material. Just like really, really sets a dark tone for the rest of the film after this really playful little sequence that we've just seen. I love that.
I've been thinking about that Polaroid since you mentioned it too. Like, honestly,
I think it makes the brother almost even more sinister when you think about it, because I also thought about like later on in the movie when the parents pick him up after he's like found by one of the workers, and we get that very uncomfortable scene, which I was kind of confused, which I wondered if it was a smart thing of Hooper to make me confused and feel weird, where we have the carnival worker kind of like, like drawing his head and stuff. But then like it's going on a little too long, and he's kind of like not letting the parents take the kid. He's kind of like staring at the kid a little weird, I thought, I was like, oh, is this guy like also a little bit of a pervert or something? And this young boy and stuff. But then I was like, I wonder if Hooper, because this guy called the parents, he obviously like cared for the welfare of this kid. I wondered if that was more in the lens of the parents of this suburban area, kind of, if Hooper was making me feel gross about the carnival workers. Like that's kind of a general thing. I remember being a kid and your parents are like, stay away from those carnival workers. Like, when it's like there's nothing overly malicious in that scene. He's not actually doing anything perverted or creepy. So I wondered if Hooper was making me feel that, even though there was nothing going on. He does eventually say, here's your kid, like now he's good to get up. But back to what I was going to is the brother's with it. He's awake. the brother knows his sister and her friends went into that funhouse and never came out, and he does not say a peep.
He's catatonic, kind of. And like that also made me think that something happened to him. Like maybe the workers did something to him and they were in on like killing all of these like regular people, like the locals, right? Because they do make references, or at least like the dad. I don't know the names of these people. Like none of them stuck with me. But the dad of the like Frankenstein guy was, talking about how they should just kill the locals or whatever.
The Barker. I don't think he has a name, but he's just the Barker.
Yeah. Right. And so I was wondering if that whole family got murdered. And actually, near the end, when Amy goes back to like the basement of the funhouse and sees bodies, I thought that was the mother. And I was like, oh, the whole family's dead now. And I was convinced the whole movie, even when she's like, like limping out of there, I'm like, her whole family is dead now. Then I had to Google it and find out that I guess they're still alive.
I think that maybe it's just me, but like my reading of all that was completely different because like, okay, so Ro was talking about the pervy carnival worker. I actually saw that as kind of tender because when the scene before that cuts out, it really makes it look like something is going on at this carnival. You know that killing is going to happen. Like you're in a fucking Tobe Hooper horror movie. Like you're just kind of waiting for the ball to drop. And then it cuts to him actually being very tender and like caring about the boy. And I think it's kind of like a little bit of a like fake out. And it's like, look, they're actually, kind people. But I also think that like the carnival workers are not like murderous as such. I think it's something that happens because of the circumstances, and it just happens a lot.
Yeah.
You're making excuses for them is what it sounds like.
That's nice, Mike.
I mean, listen,
Mike's trying to be a good carnival worker ally. That's what he's trying to do.
I am an ally. I will always root for the underdog. I don't know, that my reading on it was just, it was also like maybe setting up that, okay, so some of them are, murderous and maybe carry their, trying to go out and have a good time too far. But like, they're not all. I feel like it's just kind of like showing that, it isn't like some big, huge conspiracy amongst the carnival. It's just there's a couple of
bad
apples in the bunch. Yeah.
I love
that.
This.
Was my read on it. I could be wrong, but
I think you're right.
I like that take.
Yeah, I like it.
It's my optimism. Like nihilistic and pessimistic, but there's this shred of optimism that I cling to, and I think that was
as you should.
The optimism jumping
Someone
out.
needs to here. Okay.
The one thing I thought heavily while watching this, especially for like the first like 20 minutes or so when we're getting introduced to Buzz and Richie and all the characters and stuff, is I kept thinking Jill was just born in the wrong time period, because on this podcast, we are very noted that Jill has some sort of odd kind of daddy kink going on here. And I was thinking, what a time to be alive back then when all teenagers just looked like they were 45, really, because they were casted. They were just 40-year-old men playing teenagers. But I was like, I feel like this is, Jill, you missed out. You missed out on a school full of just guys that look like daddies already.
I wasn't sure where this was going, honestly, and I was really scared, but that's very innocent, actually. They look like the Scooby-Doo gang, in my opinion. Actually.
Totally, and especially with how colorful their outfits are, too.
Yeah. I have this down to a science, by the way. So the guy with the glasses, is that Richie? Is that his name?
Yeah, Richie.
That's Velma, but like different gender. I forget. Is it
Velma
Fred?
Was a klepto. Fred is the leader.
Fred is the leader, and Daphne is Amy, and that's all I got.
So
not
Buzz
Amy,
is
not
Liz.
Amy. The other
Who's
chick,
Scooby?
Liz.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like,
is the kid Scooby, the younger brother?
I don't know. I guess, or he's Scrappy, maybe.
Wait, but so who's Shaggy? Someone needs to be Shaggy.
I don't know.
It's the guy in the mask. I don't know.
Gunther.
Gunther.
No,
Yeah.
Amy is Shaggy. Okay, I need to fit Amy into Shaggy somehow.
I enjoyed Jill has a whole Scooby-Doo gang thing that she worked out and then forgot Scooby-Doo in the Scooby-Doo
There's no fucking
gang.
dog here. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, I mean, just someone's got to be
Listen,
assigned it. I mean, the Barker kind of had like some dog outfits going on.
He's making
like,
animal noises, so I guess.
yeah.
Can we talk about the Barker? I love
Yes.
that he plays essentially 3 different characters. Same actor, Kevin Conway, who I believe has won a Tony Award, which is kind of crazy. He was like a Broadway performer. And it didn't occur to me until this most recent watch that I like that the same actor plays 3 different characters, because it is sort of like in line with the like abominations of the freak show, like triplets.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
that's just so cool to me. I don't know, like what a very clever touch.
I legitimately didn't even know until this rewatch that it was the same dude.
Oh, really?
I thought it was crazy. I was like, man, these guys all look the same. And then I was like, I thought it was going to be a plot point. I was like, oh, they must be triplets or like there's some sort of family
Bro,
relation.
you're smarter than I am. I've seen this about 12 or 13 times over the years, and I never once noticed that.
And I do know, like, I did watch the featurette there with him, and I know he said he said he would only agree to do the film if
he could do all roles.
He could do all 3 of those roles to play someone else. And I will say, in the interview on the Scream Factory 4K Blu-ray, still kind of looks like a carnival worker when that interview was done.
I actually was like, oh, he's kind of handsome.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
That's revealing.
But Mike would be a gimp for him any day. Get the gimp suit out.
That's disgusting.
You
should be ashamed of yourself.
All the days of the week, the end of day.
Wait, listen, we're not talking about Buzz here wearing the shit out of that shirt. So
tight and white.
I will say, hands down, my favorite scene actually comes within the first half hour, 40 minutes of this. My favorite scene is the drunk magician. I love
William Finley.
Love it. Love the look. Love just like the whitish face paint. It reminds me of like a hilarious House of Frightenstein or like a 50s like TV kind of something you see out of like a Rob Zombie movie, right? When he's like playing the old specials, but then him telling the Dracula story.
He knows his shit.
Just taking sips every sentence.
I wanted more of him, and his daughter's name was it Carmilla? I was like, nice.
That's a good, that's a reference I didn't even realize was a reference until you said it out loud. That's sick.
And she had the blood coming out of her mouth, so it was kind of vaguely vampiric.
Yeah.
And that's William Finley from a lot of De Palma movies, including Phantom of the Paradise, one of my absolute favorites.
Which, P.S., was another one of the movies that I saw clips of for the first time in Terror in the Isles.
Full circle.
So,
I've never seen Terror in the Isles. I have to watch it. I own it. I have never watched it.
It is actually... Oh, if you own it, watch it. I was going to say, I did find out because I was telling somebody online about it a couple months ago. It is on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you can just watch it on YouTube.
That doesn't surprise me.
There's a similar movie that I grew up with. I only saw Terror in the Isles recently because of that Scream Factory Blu-ray. Yeah. But there was one that I had on VHS that the Hallmark company put out in the early 90s called Creepy Classics, and it was hosted by Vincent Price.
Nice.
And it was like a half hour, like, campy history of horror, but of course when you're like 6 years old, it's fucking terrifying. You don't know who Vincent Price is, you don't understand that it's campy. That is also on YouTube, and I highly recommend watching it.
Ooh, okay, I'm definitely going to check that out.
Deep lore movie for me.
But yeah, I mean, just to finish up what I was saying about the magician, I just the entire time like glued to every sentence, every word coming out of his mouth. I was hypnotized, which I'm sure he wanted through that. And I was sad that we didn't get to see him any more than that. But, you know, like heat check, just coming in quick and doing your thing and ducking out is super amazing.
But listen, again, RuPaul always says on Drag Race, when you have a small role, if you only have like a minute or two, you make sure that everybody remembers you and can't take their eyes off you. And both of them were like, yep, they delivered that shit.
I mean, of all the iconography on this Tobe Hooper zine, of course, this is a visual medium, so our listeners know exactly what I'm talking about. of all the iconography from Tobe Hooper movies that's on the cover of the zine, we got William Finley right here to represent the Funhouse.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how memorable that performance and just the whole look is. It's so good.
And I mean, I guess if you look into the movie, it probably doesn't surprise anyone that I know, like, Spielberg, this is what got Hooper hired for Poltergeist, but I mean, you could see it. I thought so many shots in this, I was like literally getting like flashbacks of Poltergeist.
The fucking clown the whole time. Like when the movie started, I was like, this is where the clown from Poltergeist came from.
Lots of clowns, lots of scenes with like kind of like flashing or strobe lighting, reaction shots.
Yeah.
I was just like, you can see how clean these shots are and how kind of Spielbergian they look, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can see 100% where Spielberg was like, yep, this is my guy. Like, this is who I need for Poltergeist.
A lot of drama there.
Well, you've got the anamorphic lens stuff, which I accidentally have going here, except it's vertical, not horizontal, because my camera is not clean. You've got that going on, which is like very Spielberg, very Poltergeist. You've got the kid who's into monsters at the beginning is So Salem's Lot coded with his Universal monster movie posters, which he had just done, right? And I've always thought a Poltergeist is like, what if Steven Spielberg and Stephen King made a movie together?
Yeah.
And who would you want to direct that? Tobe Hooper, obviously, and this movie is such a great calling card for that horror, kind of Midwestern horror aesthetic of that time.
Oh, that's so true. I never thought of that. Poltergeist is very Stephen Kingian. Fuck.
I think he took...
Poltergeist is like almost like a good sequel to Salem's Lot.
I think. There's a lot of drama about that if Tobe Hooper even got to do what he wanted to do on that movie.
Oh, my dear. We are going to get into it because you invoked it.
Oops.
We don't have to, but I could go for hours on it.
I mean, we got to be careful because I was curious at how much time on this podcast we have to leave for Mike to talk about Madame Xena.
Fuck you. Fuck you for calling me out.
You weren't going to talk about her?
I love her. I love Sylvia Miles.
Should we do a Poltergeist detour? Who directed it? What should we end the controversy once and for all? Can we be the podcast to unite Israel and Palestine, aka give Tobe Hooper credit for Poltergeist?
Yes.
He directed it.
I was literally just texting someone earlier today how fucking pissed I am whenever anyone's like, Steven Spielberg actually directed it. I'm like, fuck you. Give Tobe Hooper his goddamn flowers, please.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked on projects in my life where, like, I have a heavy-handed stakeholder who really wants to, like, make sure that their vision is seen through, but they give me credit where it's due.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened with Poltergeist. I think Steven Spielberg wanted to direct it. It was his baby. He contractually couldn't, so he picked the best person for the job that wasn't him. And yeah, he was on set. Yeah, he gave some direction, but I think he had total respect for Hooper, and Hooper's stamp is all over it.
Yeah, like, are you going to look at Spellbound or something, or like Notorious by Hitchcock and go, that's a David Selznick movie? No, no, he had his stamp on it, but like, it's clearly a Hitchcock movie, and I think it's clearly a Tobe Hooper movie, and it's like, it just bears.
I mean, you're not
the hallmarks of, like you said, an overbearing boss. Yeah.
Well, it's like the Oscar for Best Picture goes to the producers, you know, and that's what's going on here. Like, Steven Spielberg was a heavy-handed producer, but Tobe Hooper directed the fucking movie. That's why his name is on it. End of story.
Exactly.
Thank you. Yep. You would have the right take, of course. The only take, the right take.
I had, like, for those of you who don't know, I think Mike does, like, my previous cat was named Toby. So I got a dog in this fight, or a cat in this fight.
That's right. I want to talk about the actual Funhouse, the carnival ride. Why does it not really exist? Why have I not been on it? This looks like the best time. I love all that kind of cheesy stuff, like skeletons popping out, things dropping down from the ceiling.
It's the Haunted Mansion at Disney.
Yeah. I've been on rides like this, and they're fucking scary, even though you go in knowing that it's stupid and it's just like jump scare central. Like, I think of, I've been on rides that also reminiscent of, like, Ed Wood. There's, like, that great scene in Ed Wood where he and his date go on the ride and there's the skeleton pops out. Us has a great Funhouse sequence in it too.
Yeah.
With the owl popping out of the wall and stuff. It's so funny. But like, it really gets you because, at least for me, like when I was a kid, I'm like, is this thing even safe? Like, am I going to get stuck in here? Like, have they greased the gears or whatever? So it doesn't take much to actually frighten me in those spaces. And there were times where I was too afraid to even go in the first place. But I remember sitting on that little trolley and having, like, you know, the old woman in the rocking chair, like on The Simpsons. Behold the ravages of time. Have you guys experienced anything like that?
I never got to go to a funhouse growing up because the only carnival that we
Thomas
had...
Amusements.
And yes, Jill knows what I'm going to say. It's called Thomas Amusements. It travels all over the island, like in the spring and summer. You'll get it for like a week or two at a time, and then it moves to a new city.
City is a nice word, the generous word.
Listen, yes, there's maybe two things that you could consider a city that it goes to. And it was wonderful, and that was like the highlight of your year, but it was mostly games and rides.
No dark rides.
Like Ferris wheel, and there was nothing as involved as a funhouse. It's kind of like you throw darts at a balloon, or you get on the Ferris wheel,
Tilt-a-whirl, the slide,
Tilt-a-whirl, or whatever.
The scrambler.
Just kind of stuff that's like throw it up and take it down really easy.
There
was never a funhouse involved. So I would see funhouses on like movies like this and TV, and it looked scary to me because I had never experienced. And I think that's why I found this so fucking creepy when I watched it, because I was just like, this is such a foreign concept to me. So I will say this, though. The first time I ever went in something like a funhouse was probably only 11 or 12 years ago now. And it was like they were doing essentially like a Halloween funhouse, and it was for charity, and they do it for like a week at the end of every October.
And Mount Pearl?
And one of my friends was volunteering in it, and so, you know, she'd go like a couple nights a week and, you know, be one of the people that jumps out of the like behind a wall or whatever. And like she would be telling me about it every night, and I'd see her like with her fucking makeup on at home and shit, and I was like, oh yeah, that's cool, whatever. And then when I finally went to it, it like legitimately scared the shit out of me as a grown adult. Like, I knew it was just a bunch of fucking high school kids and
scary
shit,
though,
like with shitty dollar store makeup on, but like it truly did. Like, and I went in there and I was like, I am a horror movie fanatic. Like, I am not gonna, like, everybody was like, oh, it's gonna be so scary. I'm like, fuck you.
Dude, they have you crawling and stuff in these tight places.
Oh yeah, I was terrified.
Yeah, it's actually scary. And like, I haven't done like a fun house, but I've done like Halloween Horror Nights, and it's like that on like a different level. I still consider the one in Mount Pearl like pretty scary.
It's terrifying, yeah.
We have one here, it's Wired's Orchard. And when I was like, I don't know, 13, 14... It's a huge complex. Like, they have, like, their, like, Halloween Haunted Horror Night stuff. But I went in the spring with my friend's dad's, like, company. They had, like, a company picnic there in the orchard. Very, very odd. But we kind of snuck off middle of the day and climbed into one of their haunted houses, which was, like, this giant, like, 2-story building built out of pallets on the outside. And we just, middle of the day, went in, like, oh, there's weeds everywhere because they haven't, like, cleaned it up yet for the season, which is forthcoming. We, like, jimmied some locks open and got into, like, an autopsy room and stuff.
Oh, my God.
It's, like, so, like, such a formative memory for me. And I think that's another reason I really connected with this movie when I finally saw it. Because, like,
you've done it.
Again, this is, like, what these characters do is something I would do and almost
you
have
understand
done.
the impulse.
Like, delinquent.
Yeah, totally.
It's not like it's some far-fetched setup.
Now, I would, as much as I love marijuana, I don't know if I'd be high during this experience. That might be a little too far for me. These characters are ripped this whole movie. We have to acknowledge that.
But you'd definitely be getting half naked banging in the funhouse, though.
With the right person.
Moss all over
there you go. Oh, beautiful.
There's no better place to bang
Did
than
they
in a
actually
funhouse.
bang? I feel like they just made out.
No.
Well, they were, I mean, it was fully like tits out.
The girls had tits out, no tops on, but the boys were still fully dressed. So
misogyny.
Well, Gunther came. Like, that we know for sure.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
If anybody gets off in this movie.
time.
I mean, you brought it up. Why don't we talk about Gunther for a sec? And
more like Cumther. Oh,
is Gunther Frankenstein? First of all, help me. Okay,
yes.
Thank you.
Gunther is like the monster of the film, and I think it's just such a unique tone for this movie because you don't really expect it to turn into like this almost creature feature. Like I did not expect to see something like this as like a monster in it. I did love,
even though they tipped their hand in that opening scene.
Yes, 100%.
It literally just goes around the whole room, and it's all like Universal monsters.
That was great. And Bride of Frankenstein playing, I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Oh yeah. Well, because this was a Universal movie, right?
I loved Gunther in his little outfit. I did love that. But see, I think what I was expecting, I was like, okay, it's gonna be like some Hills Have Eyes looking situation.
Kinda.
Where we actually get this monster created by iconic Rick Baker, did the
I was gonna say
stuff for this.
Monster maker Rick Baker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was interested, like, what do you guys think it held up? Did you like the look of Gunther? I thought it was pretty cool, honestly. Just, it was something I'd never really seen, so I was like, this is an interesting look for a monster. I mean, I think my issue, and one of the issues I have, and I know you guys, I'm looking at Steve, and I know you guys adore this movie, but like the monster stuff, I was like less big on than, I think the
Rowan.
The murderous carnival workers going on.
I thought you were going to love this. I was watching this and I was like, Rowan's going to love the creature design.
I do love the creature design and the look. I don't necessarily like it being brought into this story necessarily, but I do like the design of it. So, do you guys also like it?
I think it's straight out of the 80s.
I love it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, the face isn't as articulate as I would like it to be, but of course it's a mask, it's the 80s, but like I like the red glowing eyes, I like the split face, the cleft lip, all of that, like that calls back to the freaks, quote unquote, that they see early on. I also like the impossibility aspect of it, like we were talking about the architecture, where it's like, that face does not fit under that mask.
Yeah.
And that gives it this level of like uncanniness that I find really creepy too.
There's so much uncanny.
And I thought also had to be kind of a call to the cow that we see earlier as well.
Yeah.
I know Tobe
100%.
Hooper's nickname was Cow for, like, it was like Cowboy or Cow. He called the monster Cow while they were filming. But
interesting.
But it did harken me back to that, which I did read the cow because I was like, how did they do that? Actually, a real cow.
It's a real cow.
Yeah, it was a
cow.
real deformed cow, and then I felt really bad because
you slandered a poor animal.
It's like cats here, like cows right under it for favorite
and dogs
animals.
right above cats.
Okay, we'll talk offline.
Oh, not the dog cat.
Dogs above cats. If I've thrown it up because I'm throwing it off of a roof, maybe.
What the hell?
No
the
dog
gloves
talk
are
around
off.
here. We don't accept that. Now, I said I don't like the Gunther stuff, but I did like the Gunther stuff in the basement for the finale. I thought that was pretty good.
And by the finale, you mean the hand job.
Well, is there any other?
Got him.
Were we let down a bit that we didn't even get to see? Like, I know Joe was let down.
Not
she
a
didn't get to see what he was working with.
Yeah, I was like, that's gotta look sick.
I know
he's a
Gunther
thick boy
was
for sure.
Dude, he was hung as shit. He was like that cow.
Them coveralls,
he was thick.
slang and dong.
Do you think it was like split into? It was like two. Like there was some sort of
interesting.
Also deformed.
Probably.
Yeah.
I like that.
There was that guy that used to be on Reddit that had like a double penis.
I feel bad though that like the deformed guy is the villain. You know what I mean? Like it makes me feel like a bad person.
Oh, I know. I have issues with that.
It's sad. Like, it is really like, honestly, the Gunther stuff makes me really deeply sad. And like, he doesn't want to kill. He's like an animal backed into a corner.
Okay, so yes, I'm glad you said that, and so this is like 80 of my notes are about this. So my whole thing with this movie now, and I kind of hinted at it earlier, and there's a reason why he's wearing the Frankenstein mask. It's like a Frankenstein parable. Like, he's monstrous, and I feel like everything that happens is not his fault. Again, he's an animal backed in the corner. He's kind of suffering abuse from this, negligent father figure. And you can tell, and they make reference to like little girls getting killed. And I was like, it's all very much like the end of Frankenstein. Like, he doesn't mean to.
Daddy issues.
Tries to fuck, and it's daddy issues, exactly. And I feel like it's just everything sort of spirals out of control because he obviously is like kind of, his cognition is not at the same level as maybe some other people's, and I feel like
you're too kind.
He's being led down a path that maybe he has no control over. And so I'm not saying good for you for killing children and stuff, but I also feel sympathy for him because I feel like it's kind of not his fault, and he has been made this way, and that's why he is sort of like a Frankenstein's monster, and he is empathetic.
So good, Mike. I love that.
So that's my whole take on this movie.
You're right.
Bless. There's more in the novel, which again, I wish it's so short. I wish I would have reread it before this.
But, me too.
There's more backstory in there for sure, that fleshes out that character and fleshes out everything. Honestly, I feel like the book was actually pretty good, and I've never said that about a Dean Koontz novel before.
Oh, it's definitely one of his masterpieces.
But what he does with this script before it went into production, it's an earlier version of the script, is kind of amazing. And Mike knows. You guys might not, but it's become almost a joke at this point that I want to write a queer retelling of the Funhouse. And it would be
we've been talking about it for years.
I know, and I still don't know what it would look like, so I just keep mentioning it, hoping that an idea will appear. But it would definitely be heavily based on the novelization. Yeah. And maybe borrow visual references from the film.
That'd be sick.
But yeah, the book gets way more into I definitely felt more sympathy for the monster in the book than I did in the film. But even in the film, it's pretty sad to see him meet his end. He didn't deserve it.
I think they do a good job of kind of letting you decide what side you fall on, whether the dad is dealing with this murderous monster or, Gunther is dealing with this abusive alcoholic dad, and that he's the byproduct of that.
Just like Amy has a alcoholic mother.
Yes.
Who doesn't seem to care too much about.
Is that the issue with the mom? Because I was like, what's wrong with the mother? But she's just an alcoholic.
The close-ups on that glass of Southern
That glass?
Comfort
Oh my god.
In 4K, it's you can taste it. And smell
I watched this on Daily Motion.
I was like, that fucking bourbon. Oh my god, Jill. Again, I could have given you a link. Girl, you need to learn.
Help me.
Listen, everybody who's listening, close your ears right now. But sometimes you need to learn how to pirate so you can get good quality stuff.
Please.
No, I was going to say, Steven brought up, the book and stuff. So this is probably a good time just to interject. Like I said, I don't know what you guys watched. I did watch the interviews with the one of the producers where he talked about just kind of Lawrence J. Block, who wrote this, just getting
that guy's a fucking nut.
Well, and he got fucked when he did this.
Did
he?
So good.
Basically, when he wrote this, the budget was only $400,000.
Oh, no.
So Toby had signed on to do this low-budget horror movie. He was like, cool. The original idea, the producer said, was basically that it was going to be like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like that kind of budget, that guerrilla style. So this producer and another guy wrote a script treatment. Toby was like, it needs to be properly written. So they got Lawrence J. Block to fully do it out, and they gave him $1,000 to do it. So basically what ended up happening is then Halloween came, and the big, for this, Paramount Universal wanted to compete with Friday the 13th for Paramount. So they were like, we need a slasher. Perfect. Tobe Hooper, this Funhouse movie, give it a bigger budget. So they gave it a bigger budget, and Lawrence J. Block had already signed a contract for the movie. So Universal turned around and said, we don't care that it's now this $2 million movie. We're not paying you any extra for the script. The producer said he thinks they gave him maybe another couple $1,000. So he thinks in total he got like 5 or 10 maybe. And they were just like, you need to go away. Like, we're not giving you any points, nothing from this movie. And then what ended up happening was there was some delays and they were timing when they were going to release it. So the book was actually going to have to come out first before the movie. And in the contract that no one had noticed, Lawrence J. Block's lawyers had put in that he owned the book rights to it. So so Universal had to go buy the book rights from him. And apparently he just fucked them and was like, guess what? All that money you didn't want to pay me, now you got to pay me like double to get the book rights.
Bitch.
So I think they said he probably cleared like 500,000 or more from selling the book rights to it. But yeah, just a little story about the writer getting screwed. Although that guy didn't say anything about him being a wild, insane guy. So I didn't know any of that. But
and I mean, it's funny because the book is probably the only movie novelization that is still in print.
Yeah.
Because it ended up being written by someone who ended up becoming one of the most famous horror writers under a pseudonym.
And I mean, realistically, like, Lawrence, this is the only credit to Lawrence J. Block as a writer on a film. He did story for the old Captain America from like the late 70s, early 80s.
Oh, fuck.
And that's it. Those are his only 2 credits.
So I have a lot of questions about Larry Block. Mike knows where I'm going with this eventually.
Yeah.
I don't understand how, like, this is the only thing to his name, and he still is, like, active online on social media and, like, doing videos. Like, how does he make a living? He must be a professor or something, like a screenwriting professor at UCLA. I don't know. Do you have an answer for that?
I am, as you're talking, I'm looking it up now. I'm looking it up. I don't think it's this guy for sure. When you look up his name, the first guy that comes up is a federal court judge.
Well, that's why he goes by Lawrence J. Block on IMDb and with SAG, whatever union he's in, because there's a lot of Larry Blocks who also work in film, but he's my Larry Block. He did a show. I was doing some research. He did a show on YouTube in 2020 called, because I looked him up on IMDb and was like, who the fuck is this guy? And he seems like this is all he talks about. He's willing to do interviews all the time in his Nike ball cap and his 17,000 Dean Koontz books behind him, which is like more than one Dean Koontz book is too many. He did a show called Me Gunther Horror Show, where he is wearing a mask of Gunther, the monster from this movie, and he's going to talk about important films from horror history. So why not begin with the only one he's ever been involved with? Of course, the Funhouse. And it's so cringy. It's like Tim and Eric level editing, except he's totally not in on the joke. The mouth is like badly digitally animated on the Gunther mask as he's talking. I highly recommend Googling a picture of it even. The videos are short. They're pretty entertaining. But I'm just like fascinated with this guy. Like he still holds a grudge for everything that happened trying to get this movie off the ground back in 1980 that this came out?
Yeah.
I can't find anything. I looked it up. Like, his credits are those. Like, that's the last credit he's got, and it doesn't look like there's any info on him, so just living off the Funhouse buzz, I guess.
But to hear him tell it, he's like a screenwriting whiz and like should be a consultant or something. I'm like, dude, you made one movie 40 something years ago. Get a life.
Yeah. MoveOn.org.
Oh, fucking dead.
I mean, let's talk about a couple of the kills in this. There is a couple kills. Maybe another little gripe I have, I'm sorry, but, 40, 45 minutes is quite a time.
48 minutes, Rowan. I knew you were going to fucking bring this up, so I fucking went and found the timestamp. 48 minutes.
It's quite a time for nothing really to happen.
I love it. We were just living with these characters while they were just, like, chilling out, like, having fun at the goddamn county fair or whatever.
And I love the carnival stuff, but I still need something to happen.
I got a kill to talk about. My favorite is Richie. Richie, when he gets noosed up and then he starts coming down in the dark ride cart, and you're thinking it's Gunther, whatever the fuck his name is, the monster.
Gunther.
Whatever. I thought it was him, and then they fucking axe him in the head, and I was freaking out because they didn't have to do anything because they killed their own friends. I thought that was amazing. And that was my favorite kill.
Yeah, so is that the understanding? I was wondering that too. So when Richie gets noosed, I kind of thought, like, that's total accident, right? Like, it just seemed like that rope was on the floor. What?
Because he got axed.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Okay, I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
Wow.
But yeah, because, I mean, I didn't see, they don't show anyone around, and, like, he just kind of, like, it shows the ride going, and then the rope is just kind of moving, and it kind of gets caught up on him. So I didn't understand.
I don't know. I rewound it, and the angle, it's very, like, put down on him.
But it comes
100%.
It comes up from the floor, doesn't it? I thought it comes up from the floor, and then it catches onto his neck.
No, they're above them.
Okay.
And they very specifically put it around his neck very
with
quickly.
Their food. They don't kill him. His friends actually killed him.
Right.
And I thought that was genius. I thought that was funny but tragic but amazing, iconic, favorite kill. Done.
You know what's weird is
and
with
also
this movie,
I know you found him annoying.
I'm so like enamored with the atmosphere and the color and the history behind it and everything. I don't even think about the kills. Like, I don't even know if I think about this traditionally as a horror movie, which is just very strange. I'm just saying that out loud.
I mean, I'm just gonna say it. Like, I get that because I think the atmosphere is awesome and all that. I think the kills are pretty lame anyway. Like,
that's
not...
what it is. I don't think about the kills because they kind of suck. But that's okay.
Imagine you give this freak a hand job. You don't even get your money, and then you just get strangled to death. That sucks.
I mean, she technically got her money. He just took the money back.
After
That's
she was dead.
rough, man.
Unforgettable.
Okay, but see, and this is why y'all are further highlighting my theory that we should be empathetic towards everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Because we go so long without a kill, because they're not like murderous rampagers. Like, everything that happens is kind of like a reaction to something
it gets to
before.
a point.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I guess in fairness, Richie
It's
stole
sort of
all
like
that money from
like
them. So.
stuff. Yeah, stuff just sort of like snowballs,
get
and
fucked.
I feel like
Just got
one bad decision,
premature ejaculation hand job, and that is premise to kill.
And then when they do, like, you know, kind of go after them, even then it's like they're just like, oh, they saw us have an accident, so we have to shut them up. It's like not their fault that there was fucking kids hanging out in the rafters,
right,
with their lighters. Like,
I'm a little too worried that you're a little like too far over on this side of being the ally of these carnival workers.
I got something to
that
ask.
you're like, well,
Mike.
I've been
Mike,
radicalized.
this is for you.
Yes.
When the kids decide they're going to sneak off and stay in the funhouse for the night, and the carts...
And by kids, she means 40-year-olds.
Yes, those. The Scooby Gang. The carts come back empty. Mr. Gunther, Mr. Frankenstein, he knows that there are people there. Like, you can see it on his face, the recognition, even in the mask, that he knows that they didn't come back. Like, he knows they're there, right?
Does he, though?
I think he's smarter than we give him credit for.
I can't believe this turn of Mike trying to create all this sympathy, and then Mike basically being like, is he smart, though? Is he smart? I can't believe
he's
this.
smart enough.
I kind of took it as maybe he just didn't really care. He was just kind of, I mean...
Yeah, okay, so hasn't everybody done that in their job and said, I don't give a fuck?
Well, that's what I kind of thought. I'm thinking his abusive father...
How many times a week do you
like,
go, I don't know and I don't care? For me, it's like 10 times a day.
And by then, he's probably thinking about hand jobs. So he's like, I'm just trying to get done.
He's literally counting how many dollars he can give Madame
He's
Xena.
thinking about
and still get a
more
hand job
than
from
hand
her.
jobs. He wants more than a shitty premature hand job. Okay, he doesn't get what he wants.
Well, yeah, that's
because
true.
she drove a really hard bargain.
And
like,
you know
I
what?
mean, I do a lot more than that for a lot.
And then
less.
Liz, you know, she's like, "I'm a girl. I'll give you what you want," and he kind of falls for it. And then she stabs him in the back. Man, that hurts.
Literally. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe he wasn't even going to kill her. Maybe he just wanted to, like,
He just wants love.
Get his rocks off.
He just wants
and-
to be loved. His
Yeah.
dad won't go fishing with him.
Almost every kill, I was like, this is sort of like they have it coming.
Jesus. I will say, I thought a very missed opportunity when Gunther dies, when he's getting stuck in the gears. I was kind of hoping for a halved body, just like crush him and halved. I'm assuming just the budget didn't let him. It was looking a little janky. I was like, the gears are looking like they're not really crushing.
It's a metaphor.
They look like styrofoam, and like it's clear that he's not really crushed in them. He's standing between them.
He's just a cog in the machine.
It's a little snug. Yeah. It's just a cog
but they're kind of just shaking, and And
I did love that, he gives you the little, like, the little fake out at the end there of maybe Gunther lives. He obviously does if he's in a 2020 YouTube TV series, maybe.
Oh my god.
So do you guys have any other talking points, or are you good to land the plane?
Man, I could go on for another hour, but I won't.
But do it.
The Funhouse Part 2.
This is a movie we should revisit, especially because for you two, it's like a first-time viewing.
Yeah.
We should revisit this in a couple of years.
Yeah, I like it.
After it's had some time to gestate.
I like that you're giving this podcast a couple more years to still be around and exist.
I give it a couple weeks.
I'm always for it. Yeah. I mean, me and Mike always make the joke that everyone comes and goes, and like me and Mike are just going to be like 70 still, Mike's still going to be trying to get us to review movies that aren't really horror movies.
Rude.
And
how dare you?
Oh, shame.
They're always great. They're always Strange Days and stuff, so I always love them.
Yeah, so shut up. Everybody loves Strange Days.
Yeah, that's right. Well, let's land the plane and we'll get into
Wait. First, I just need to say one thing. Sorry, the plane, just keep it up in the air for 1 second. I loved the crazy, like, bag lady.
I knew you were going to say that. That is one of my notes that I was going to bring up at the end. Yes, God is watching you.
What is the point?
Yep, God is watching you. And then she's like, God is watching me take a shit right now. I was like,
I don't like the way she shuffles in like a sped up, like, frame rate fashion. I think that's
giving
weird.
David Lynch.
Yeah.
It is pretty Lynchian. Oh my god, and when she just like is in the field and just like pops up out of nowhere toward the end, that's kind of creepy. I like I'm gonna break every fucking bone in your body from the fortune teller. That is a
Madame Zena's
I was waiting for her to
chilling,
fulfill that promise.
Well, she would have if she didn't get murdered while given a 20-second hand
It was like
job.
10 seconds.
Also, I think I confirmed. I saw the bill that Gunther just gave her, and I think it was a crisp hundo. I think he gave her $100.
Okay,
I think it was a hundo.
And I mean, think about it. In what would this have been? 1980.
That's
that
like $1,000.
Worth like $1,000. Yeah, $1,000 today dollars for a hand job is. Oh my god, John.
That's business.
So I'm just like, okay, going rate for hand job versus full on penetration, because I know he was paying for penetration. $100
$400.74.
Okay.
Hell, I'd do it for free.
We love a little monster action, don't we?
Just keep that mask on.
Keep it on.
You'd need 2 hands, though.
We like masks.
I have 2 hands. We're all good.
All right, well, with that, let's land the plane and we'll get into rating this. If you're new to our podcast, our rating system is nay, okay, yay, or slay. Steven, you're the special guest. And I think it's only proper that you rate it in our system and the classic screw it, cue it, or view it.
It's a view it and a slay.
Yeah.
It's a view it and a slay. I mean,
easy.
This is just a really special, magical movie for me in a very interesting filmography. I'm obsessed with Tobe Hooper. I've seen every film of his but one, and maybe if I did okay today, maybe I could be back on the show at some point.
I like it,
and we could do that. I've never seen Night Terrors with Robert
Englund. Oh yeah,
but I've seen everything else. No, this movie fucking rules. I love it. I'm so glad that the two of you got to see it for the first time, that Mike and I got to geek out about it. I could talk for another hour, but we've been here for 2 hours and 40 minutes, so time to call it.
Unfortunately, you're not allowed back on. Our rules with guests is you're not allowed back on till you've been on a Leprechaun episode. So,
well, maybe you don't. I'm a Leprechaun freak.
Well, we are
I'm
coming up next year to our Leprechaun Origins by the WWE, so
which I haven't seen. Anyway, I guess it's my job to throw it to somebody. I'll throw it to Mike. How would you rate this film on the EHMON scale and on the It's?
Oh, there we
go. Everybody's got to do it now since you called me.
View it and slay it. Like I mean, like, we've been talking about it all week, like, behind the scenes, behind the curtain. Yeah. We've just been, like, geeking out over it, and
it's all we ever
do,
reason really.
Why I picked this, right? Like, it was partially, obviously, so we could, like, have you on and just chill out, but, I mean, like, we could have done that with anything. We needed to do the Funhouse, because the Funhouse is, like you said, a special movie. I think that Tobe Hooper in general is a little bit of, like, a black sheep outside of Texas Chainsaw, and
totally
I want to say and Poltergeist, but like people, even that he's black sheep for, because people say it's not his fucking movie, and it is. I just think he doesn't get a fair shake, and I think that this is an excellent horror film. You mentioned it numerous times. There's beautiful colors in it. I mean, it's mostly similar to Texas Chainsaw. It's like a lot of it takes place in the dark and at night, but the cinematography is beautiful. There's all sorts of like, the carnival lighting, and it's full of, reds and yellows and primary colors. And I just think it's a beautiful special movie. I think it's a bit of a slow burn. This time around, I've seen it numerous times over the decades, and even I got something new out of it this time with my whole, like, kind of Frankenstein theory that I'm going down, and like, oh, maybe we should be more empathetic towards them. I just think it's a slay. It's a great movie. I think that you should really, like, let it marinate and enjoy it. And that's the reason why Dean Koontz was able to make, like, a full-blown novel out of it. There's just so much to work with there, so much to, like, chew on. Jill? Yeah. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm so happy you picked this, because I didn't even know it existed until I watched it today. And like I said, it's been a very Tobe Hooper year for me. And this might be one of my favorite things that I've watched by him, actually. It's still going to be a yay for me.
Yay.
Sorry, it's not a slay yet.
Yay. No,
I think you're right. I think it needs to marinate a little bit. My only issue was that, and I know it's a slasher. It's a slasher. The characters aren't supposed to have like a whole lot of personality. They're fodder, right? But even the final girl, I was like, where's the personality? So that was kind of my issue with it, not being a slay. But apart from that, I think it's a fucking banger. Like, this is a banger. I enjoyed the setting, the set, the creature design. Frankenstein blowjob is what I'm going out with. So yay for me. Maybe someday.
You would. That would be what Jill takes.
Maybe it'll be a
slay.
A Slayer Frankenstein blowjob someday. What about you, Rowan?
Yeah, so there was a lot I liked about this. Like I said, I liked the way it looked. I love the carnival feeling, the atmosphere. I mean, Tobe Hooper is amazing at just kind of gritty, underbelly American feeling places and just that whole thing. I do love the way it looked. I love kind of the campiness of Gunther and the look of Gunther. Like I said, was I thrilled that it took 48 minutes to get into something? Not like super thrilled. And like Jill, I was a little disappointed in some of the character development for it. There was a lot I liked about it. There was a lot that left me wanting more. It's definitely not my favorite Tobe Hooper film. I can't blaspheme like that. Like I mean, Texas Chainsaw is just like one of my all-time favorite movies that still makes me feel gross when I watch it. And like no other film makes me feel that way.
It is a masterpiece.
It's a movie you can smell. Like, it's fucking powerful.
I can't eat. I've talked about it. Like, when I watch that movie still, I can't, like, if I'm eating supper, I have to stop eating till it's done, because the food tastes gross if I'm watching it. Like, it's just disgusting. This honestly just kind of, for a slasher, left me wanting a little more. I'm gonna be the one. I'm gonna come in with an okay. I just kind of felt okay with it. I know. I've got to be the downer. I will say I would like to revisit it in a little bit, and I think I might upgrade to the 4K. Well, I mean, who are we kidding? I'm going to upgrade to the 4K.
You need to. It's a beautiful disc, and this is actually a beautiful movie.
I upgrade movies to 4K that I say are the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure.
I want to just say something too. Can I suggest that it's not a slasher movie, but
I'm
a
sorry.
monster movie, like Universal monster
Yeah,
movie.
buddy, that's the T right there.
And maybe that's kind of my issue, is that it's just kind of like bouncing around for me, and maybe I'm just simple, guys. I'm sorry, but yeah. So that will put us at 2 slays, a yay, and an okay. I feel like that'll put it like pretty appropriately where it should probably be. So with that, we told you what we thought about the film, and we asked what you thought about. And I will say, another mic pick with a lot of people commenting in on this. So we will start on Instagram. VHS Horror Girl wrote and said, a roll-licking ride of evil carnival hijinks, !
I think the word is rollicking.
Is it rollicking? Let's see, this is what happens when I'm just reading.
That's okay. That's why we're here to support you.
Yeah, I'm glad. I just can't wait till Mike off camera is, talking about me like he talks about Gunther. And where he's like,
my God, I love you guys so
ally.
much.
And then he's like, do you guys think he's actually
Stupid.
smart
Stupid.
though?
Simple.
And then we had Horror Hound Holly P write in. Let's go, Holly. Holly said, this wasn't Mike's strongest suggestion, but I'm glad I watched. An okay from me. And then she also commented and said, I'm with Nicholas. Do the third Blair Witch.
Gosh, y'all.
If I can speak on behalf of a permanent co-host of the show.
That's right. You're part.
That's insane.
And then over on Slasher, we had Uncle B from the 80s write in and said, oh, it slays hard. So much fun to be had with this one from beginning to end. And then we had Nurse Ratchet's Horror, who said, love this movie. I watch it a lot. It's a slay. It seems like a lot of people are with you guys, not so much with me here.
It takes repeat viewings, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Here's Johnny One wrote and said, a yay, great film from the 80s. And then Send More Paramedics wrote and said, slay, one of my favorite 80s horror movies.
Yeah, Mike.
Taste.
And we still have people. So over on Threads, we had friends of the podcast, TerraVision, they wrote in and said, it's a complete slay. It's awesome. There's so much to love about this one, and with a fire emoji. So,
fire emoji is a good description.
Holly, I'm still here with you. All right, Mike's shrugging and he's
giving you the middle finger.
Me and Holly are 99% on the same wavelength. So
she didn't divorce you this time. So
no, I will not. Notice how I didn't say divorce.
Yeah,
so we're
not the
for
lavender
now.
Marriage.
This is just a blip.
And then over on Bluesky, we had a friend of the podcast and permanent host of Stream Screams, Trevor. He wrote in and said, Tobe Hooper is the best. Slay. Just straight to the point in Trevor's own way.
Yeah. And he's right.
And then super friend of the podcast, Willow, wrote in, and Willow said, we love Tobe Hooper. The satisfaction that I get with slasher movies is finding personality within the generic trappings of the subgenre, and the personality here is in the scope photography. It's always the frame with Tobe, and this is one of his most playful and colorful films. It's a blast.
Yeah. That's beautiful. That's poetry. I really mean that.
That's
literal poetry.
That's what happens, when you have a professional film critic write in and just try to show us up, Willow.
We love you.
I'm like, I liked them primary colors.
The red, yellow.
I didn't know you were such a...
It was red. There was
red, yellow, and blue. Oh my God.
I didn't know you were such a big fan of John Travolta films, but okay.
Wow, what a pull, Ro. What a pull. I just have to say, that was... I don't know how that just came out of you, but well done.
Yeah, sometimes
Deep
there's
cut.
film knowledge in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So with that, we know where we're going to head over. We're going to head over to the Horrific Hotline where Horror Hound Nicholas has sent us a voicemail. So we're going to hear what Nicholas has to say.
So I'll be honest, I'm a tiny bit disappointed that we didn't get Blair Witch, the third one. But, I mean, Tobe Hooper, I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I love Poltergeist, and I think that Texas Chainsaw 2 and, eaten alive. Well, they're trash, but they're the exact same trash I expect when I buy the Arrow Video Blu-ray box set of those movies. That is very entertaining trash that I really like to watch.
Okay.
However, I've never seen Funhouse before, and I've got to admit that really wasn't my kind of movie.
Let's go.
Maybe it's like Christmas Evil, it's expectations. I was like, okay, this is gonna be just like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 or Eaten Alive, but at this carnival or fair or whatever. And it's not really that. I did not expect to follow this girl who got psycho fake jump scared in the beginning of the movie, which was fine, I guess, who gets pressured by her date to go to like the carnival with her two really annoying friends and then spend 45 minutes with those four people at the carnival before anything happens. Sometimes we follow her little brother who gets out of the house, goes to the carnival, and I don't know, gets picked up by the cops and doesn't really matter in the story. And in the middle of the story, we finally get the, well, monster-looking man and its whatever mean relative, and somewhat it's maybe a bit of a slasher. I don't know. Didn't really care much for the pacing, for any of the characters. Maybe, again, expecting the wrong things of the movie, but that wasn't really it. I think the monster makeup is... no, actually, it's not really good. I think the ideas behind the monster makeup are interesting.
Not the Rick Baker slander.
Yeah,
like the final kill is nice to see, but overall, it's gonna be a nay from me, which is sad because I was kind of looking forward to the movie because it is was a blind spot. But I guess you've got to do Blair Witch 3 now. Maybe.
No.
Okay, anyways, still hope you guys enjoyed the movie more and looking forward to your talks. Sometimes what you have to say brings me around and I see a movie at least a bit more favorably. All right, bye.
I will bring you around.
Bye.
God
you're a
damn.
hater. Not usually a hater.
He usually likes Mike picks, too.
This is homophobic.
This one wasn't hitting. I get
Right
it.
before
I get
Pride
it. I
Month.
understand.
I mean, I said earlier I would give hand jobs for free, but I would charge him about $1 million.
Oh my goodness!
Not $1 million.
Despicable person from the sounds of it.
Can't believe it.
And I will own that. I will own that because I'm not a regular co-host.
Say it with your chest.
I can say what it's... Yeah.
And before we get to any promotions, I always say, even if you write in late, I'll make sure to say your thing. We had Terpesta wrote on Instagram because he had missed the timeline to write in about Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. And he was like, I gotta let you know. So he said, I know I'm late if I wanted to give my thoughts on Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. I have some nostalgia with this one, as I remember watching this on the Movie Network back in the day. I believe this was only my second time watching it. I really enjoy the soundtrack, which was very much of the era. While the movie isn't great, I'm going to give it an okay for these reasons. I feel like that's where we were on it anyway, was the soundtrack kicks, and, you know, it's kind of like a schlocky thing to put on that's kind of fun. So you're right in line with us. So you're all right.
That soundtrack, though, man, POD, System of a Down.
It's fantastic.
Poe. We always have to mention Poe. She's the closing needle drop.
Yeah.
Okay, there's I hate those artists. But Elastica has a song on it. Okay, color me intrigued. I thought I knew this and apparently I didn't.
Yes, it's a wild ride. So if you want to leave a message like Nicholas, you can do so by sending it to us any way you can. You can email itslicepodcast@gmail.com. Or just message us. I know Holly sent some in like over Facebook, and some people have sent them in over Instagram. Anyway, you can get a voice message. You can send them our way. We'll make sure to play them. And if you're not doing so, you can follow us on social media at It's Lace Podcast. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Slasher, TikTok, Tumblr, Threads, Letterboxd, YouTube, but basically anywhere there's social media, you can find us.
Pornhub.
Oh, yeah.
On the PH. On the
on
hub.
the PH. Well, we should make an account there. I just upload all the
Make an
podcasts.
account, sure.
Yeah.
Theater wink.
And the only videos we like on Pornhub are Gunther gets a hand job.
Fuck yeah.
Wait, I wonder if Larry Block also uploaded those Gunther videos there too, just
maybe
to reach his audience wherever.
Only one way to find out.
That's right.
You want to take the bullet for us?
We'll create a Pornhub account.
So yes, follow us at It Slays and podcast, and you can follow us anyway like that. Jill, why don't you thank our lovely Patreon members and tell them how they can become a horror hound?
Yeah, why won't I do that right now? Okay. If you'd like to join the ranks of our horror hounds like Holly, Nicholas, Sacrotype, Dan, Brian, Trevor, James,
Gunther.
Philip, James, Mr. Ruby, and Gunther. Just kidding. Head on over to Patreon. We're over there under It Slays Podcast. Choose the tier that works best for you. Perks include access to our Patreon exclusive show, Stream Screams, and access to our episodes a little bit early. Rowan, I don't know if there's any bagners from this movie, but why don't you tell these spooky people about our spooky, horrific playlist?
Yeah, so you can follow our playlist at Spotify at the It Slays Podcast Horrific Playlist. We update it regularly, but you can go to any of our social media, go into the bio. There's a Linktree link. Click a button that'll take you directly there. We upload scores and licensed music from iconic horror movies we review, or just horror movies we love. We update it regularly, so get your spooky music on, because why the hell not? Before we get into the upcoming episode, I gotta leave a little space. Steven, you gotta tell people where they can follow you, so you can tell them.
No, don't follow me. Don't come.
Move to his neighborhood. I hear it's nice.
Yeah. Don't come for me. I live in a nice neighborhood, but I'm not going to dox myself. No, I don't have anything to promote. I'm pretty much lying low, since I don't have my own podcast anymore, which actually has been delightful. But y'all are amazing. I've had so much fun. This has been a long time coming,
yes.
And I hope I haven't been too rude or out there, whatever. Like, I hope you'll have me back again. This was really a delight.
Up. You're coming back.
Okay, great.
I'm so glad
great.
we finally got to do this.
We'll let you know when all our Patreon members revolt against us, and they're like, who's this random guy telling us to go fuck ourselves?
And I'll keep slapping them down for you.
Yeah, and then we'll send them your neighborhood that they can move into. So
I'm coming.
Yeah, that's right.
Joke's on you, because that's some of their kink.
Karma will get me in the end.
Yeah, it's all right. They know we're they know we're playfully playing. They are just as bad as us. So
they know I'm a troll. But this
we all just slap each other around. It's a big slap fest.
This has been an absolute dream. Y'all are amazing. And thank you.
So all that is left is to announce our upcoming episode. And it is our first Pride pick of the year. And it is a Jill pick. So Jill, what do you have us watching?
Listen, I just want to say, for years, it's been Pride Month, and for years, we've had these straight white men choose our Pride picks.
I feel like it's always me and Colton. It's always
people with
me.
names like Colton. Come on.
Yeah. We're getting gay. We're getting dead. We're watching Queens of the Dead.
Yeah.
For Pride Month. And I guess Steven is coming back probably.
I was going to say, you might have to come on again in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I would be delighted if you'd have me. This sounds fucking amazing.
Okay, y'all heard it. There's no going back now. The hat has been thrown in.
Hey, Colton's not here to send the warning out, but yeah, you got to be careful here, Steven, because you're getting the royal mic treatment. This is how Colton and Jill and everybody gets conned into the being permanent on the podcast, because Mike just keeps inviting you every episode, and you can't miss this one. You can't miss this one. And the next thing you know, you're like, how the hell do I get off this podcast? What the hell is going on?
I don't see myself getting to that point. With my old podcast, yes, and obviously I'm no longer longer on it. Anyway, we'll cross that bridge if we come to it.
That's right. So, get Queens of the Dead in your eye holes, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. As always, thank you for all the support. I'm your humble host, Rowan.
It's Mike, and thank you to you guys and Steven for coming on and chatting with us and hanging out and having a couple of drinks.
It was so much fun. Thanks for coming, Steven. It was a great time. Bye, it's Jill.
Thank you all for having me. Bye, it's Steven.
See you later.